Episode 23. Keisuke Nagashima, 86Fighters. Yeah, we've done -3 episodes. So this is the 20th episode. And we've done 20 episodes over about a year now. I do these when I can, pretty much just when people reach out and go, hey man, when's the next one coming? I'm like, oh man, I should probably put one of these together. So I've been trying to get Keisuke to do this since the beginning because the dude cracks me up, man. Keisuke is just wicked funny. Sick driver, SR Corolla in New Zealand, S15 in Japan. Just good hangs, man. He's a funny dude and he's got some cool stories, and I really enjoyed recording this one. You'll see me just dying. I hope everyone enjoys this as much as I did, and yeah, please enjoy.
What's that?
It's officially started.
Oh shit.
It's good, man. I don't know. Just got back from the grand reopening of Apple Valley Speedway, or Grange, as many of us call it.
Yeah. How was that? It's been widened and extended and stuff, eh?
Yeah. So I was talking to Kazuya about it, and he was saying he appreciates the fact that the first turn is wider because you can bail now. So if you're in a train and something goes awry, you can kind of there's somewhere to go. Because before it was just go in the dirt and hope no one else goes in the dirt, because once they hit the dirt, there's no avoiding anyone.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. And it's the straight isn't that much wider. They they made it wider coming as you get to the first corner. So it goes wide, and then it goes, they said it's 50 feet wide now.
I don't know what that is in meters, but it sounds pretty wide.
Yeah. 100 yards is a football field, and that's 150 feet. So it's a third of a football field.
Shit.
Yeah. Football,
3-4 cars?
Yeah. Pretty easy, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's whatever. We're what can you do, right? I mean, it was cool. The new pavement's nice, and they paved a little bypass road. So if you don't want to go do the whole infield, you can just skip it and go right back to the front straight, which is sick.
Yeah, like you do on a Seto.
yeah, and just drive through the dirt. No, you don't have to get airborne.
Yeah.
Because we would do that. We would drive through the dirt at the track. We would just drop 4 wheels off and go scrub them off, going back down the thing, and then go again. Were you playing Assetto with us the one time when the kid got super mad because we kept doing that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's you guys are ruining the server. You're supposed to drift the whole track. Hey man.
We can do what we want. It's a free world.
Yeah, but they the only downside, there's they made some of the corners a little bit easier. They made them flow better, but I think that took some of the skill out of it. You can just, there's no point in which you feel you're about to straighten and you have to really carry momentum to make it to the next section. You can kind of just drift the whole thing without really putting too much thought into it, which it's one of those things where
I guess it caters to the newer guys that are probably not as technical, maybe.
I would say it probably caters to 95% of people who are going to go there. So can you really be mad? And they did try and keep some of the OG dangerous aspect of it. But what can you do? Actually, man?
One thing that I reckon is pretty cool is how after the first kind of sweeping corner coming in after the entry, there's that little hairpin.
Yeah.
That times up to.
Yeah.
They made a little concrete pad so someone that followed can go onto the concrete pad and keep close, which is pretty sick.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was there before. I felt like it wasn't. but someone said that it was, so I'm like, I'm confused. But definitely that section, like I was on that all day trying to keep up with Jason. I was just like, nope.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
It was fun, man. I don't know. So you know, we gotta get Julian with trusty setup so we can drive. We'll get there.
Yeah, he hasn't had much luck with his timing chain stuff coming off and all that shit. It's just like fine.
It was supposed to be like a, slap it together Frankenstein, pistons from this motor, pistons from that motor, like let's see if we can make it happen kind of thing. And I think for the most part it worked, but it was like the first event after the motor got put together, the turbo had probably a bunch of material in it from when he windowed like 4 parts of the old block. There's probably some turbo's not happy about that. And then after that, it was like just little stuff, man. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So
that should be good. Be good to see him out there, eh?
Yeah, you have your hands full a bit. So you like have a couple projects going on.
Yeah, always got fucking projects going on at the moment. I got a street car that I'm building, which is pretty much turned into a full restoration, which was not the plan, but hey, that's just how it is. But that's coming along all good. The gold car, I've had fueling problems since the get-go. I think the tank, just with old cars and shit, how they go rusty and all the rest of it. So I've been having fueling issues. So hopefully I have everything to sort that all out and get back out next month, which would be nice.
Yeah. Are you like itching to go back to Japan and drive the S15?
Oh, dude, like don't even get me started on that. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, like 2018, 19, or to be honest, before 2020, I've been going to Japan pretty much at least once a year for probably a good, 10, 15 years. And then not being able to go last year was a bit of a mind fuck, to be honest. But like, to be honest, at the same time, it was pretty sick that I was in New Zealand of all places, because even though we had like a massive lockdown and stuff, like it's a pretty nice country to be locked down in, I guess.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Based on my week, I wouldn't be upset about being there.
No, yeah, bro, you need to come back. Like that trip when you guys came over for Animal Style GP, that was so good. Like, it was the best time. Yeah,
Casey flew out last minute. That was so good.
It's funny. Like me and Joel, like Seascape's Joel, we were like messaging him saying, oh, "Bro, like just come over. He's like, "Yeah. I'll think about it." And like, I think it was like 24 hours before the event, he's like, I'm going to the airport now.
Dude, we were already there. We were already there, and he like did some like like coin flip on IG, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go." Like, yeah, dude, let's do
it. That's right. Yeah. Fuck, it was funny, eh? It was so good. So like, how we set up that first day and just testing the cars out and the tracks and that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was itching to go just to test my car, because I'd only come back from Japan like not even 20 days before. Whoa. And then so I was like, I need to go. Then I need to go pick Casey up from the airport.
Yeah, I remember that. You're like, all right, see you later. You like just
disappeared.
Yeah, man. I mean, so you go, typically you go every year. What, like, did you do that because of drifting initially, or did you just go to Japan and then, like, did you find drifting in Japan, or did you find it in New Zealand?
Yeah, no, I found it in New Zealand actually. Like when I was like 12 or 11 or something. That was when I think D1NZ and the New Zealand Championship started like to expand nationally. And it was a weird story. But my old man was a hard out like casino gambler dude, like high roller VIP type thing, which is kind of weird to say. But like he won like a couple cars and all that type of shit, which is weird. Like, but one of the guys that worked at the casino was he was into drifting and he was like competing at that stage. And because I was into cars from a real young age, he was like, "Oh, is your son into cars?" Like, yeah, or like come out to a track day at Pukekohe. So like, oh yeah, head off and just didn't think anything of it. Didn't know it was drifting. It was just cars and going around the track. And ended up they were like doing some test days for drifting, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to go for a passenger lap in one of these cars?" And it was an orange S14. Owned by this dude called Andy Chewy from a club called Full Counter, which is one of the OG drift teams back in the day from New Zealand.
What year was this?
This is probably 2003, 4, something like that.
Dang, first ride along in 03.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
at Pukekohe, which is like that massive, real high speed sweeper.
Yeah, I bet that was like, okay.
Yeah, let's go now.
Yeah, you're probably
my old man thought I was.
You're probably
in the passenger seat.
You're probably in like a 300 horsepower car too, because back then that was like
yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Holy shit! And like full Bolton cages. I think he bought it from Japan. It was like full M Sports kit, like 33 GDRs. Like it was sick, man. Like I think I was sitting in a Bride Bricks at the time, and I was like, bro, this thing's mean. What the hell?
I like M Sports a lot. One day.
Yeah.
A boy can dream.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. How many cars, do you really need to keep yourself satisfied? And the answer is probably not not enough.
No. I mean, like I was just literally like texting my friend about a car that's for sale like today. And I was like, this sounds like a bad idea, but like, I don't know. My mind keeps going back to like, I should buy that. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, yeah. I think bad ideas turn into really, really good ideas.
I'd say so.
Yeah. No peer pressure, Palmer, but do it.
It's like one of those deals where like, you're like, if I don't buy this, I'm going to regret it like 4 years from now. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
they're not making those types of cars anymore, like especially Sylvias, like you can only get them what's available. So
yeah.
Is it a Sylvia?
It's an S13. S13 hatch. Yeah. I mean, I would love to import something, but I don't really know. I don't know how that goes, man. I don't know I feel like it's like there's a lot. It seems very stressful. But
it can be like. Yeah.
I think I might just do it. I don't know. I might have to
get it done. Why not?
Yeah.
Just do it. Don't think about it too much. Just do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Bad decisions.
Oh,
who cares about
the deal, man? Like, yeah.
Who cares about
why not?
Who cares about future investments? I could be like, doing this is an investment. It's an investment in my happiness.
Yeah. mental health investment.
Yeah. So
I reckon, like, oh man, like Sylvias are going up in price like ridiculously, man. Like you get stonks for it regardless if it's a deal. So
it's true. Yeah, a nice little 13. Sit on it for a couple of years, then retire.
Fucking mint.
I feel like
retire a happy man.
I feel like I need it. I feel like I don't know. I feel like if I don't buy one soon, there aren't going to be any left.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to be super expensive.
100%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But I was like literally just talking to Simba about buying a Soarer from Japan because I want a Soarer because I'm corny. I don't know.
Bro. Nah, I want a Soarer so bad.
Do you? Okay. All right. I'm not alone here. I need to just do it. Do they go for a lot out there?
They're starting to, right? Because anything with a 1J and R154 tends to go up in price. But no, that like me and my mate Matt, we went to Japan. Shit, I think it was like 2015 or 14, and we went there for Ebisu Matsuri, and we bought a Z30 Sora out there, like R154, non-BBTO 1J, just coilovers, some rack spaces, and like pretty much 17.9s all around 215s. And it was like so much fun, man, just fucking around in that thing.
Yeah, so I've had like some of my like OG friends are like, those are terrible cars. And then like I've had people recently be like, they're great. I'm like,
yeah.
I could have had one this whole time, you know, like I don't know. I'm kind of a Toyota, I'm a Toyota fanboy, you know, like if I could afford a Corolla just to like have somewhere, I would. But you know. Did you start out with Corollas, or did you have some like crazy progression of cars?
No, I pretty much started with like Corollas. My first drift car was a A86 that we bought in Japan. Me and my old man, we bought it from Kobe. So like, you know where Osaka is like down the bay is Kobe. So my dad, I think he went down there first, picked the car up, and then I trained down, met him at the station, and then we drove all the way back up to Tokyo when I was like 16, if that.
Oh man!
But in New Zealand, you can get your license at 16.
Mm.
Whereas in Japan, you can only get your license at 18. So because I had my license, I was fuck it, I'm just gonna drive anyway. Because my old man's like, this bucket seat sucks.
You're like, okay.
So yeah, we drove like 10 hours up the motorway, like sweeping through like those trucks. They're fucking fast, man, in Japan, like twin turbo diesel things, and they're going like 130, 140 the whole way. And what you do is you go, like, if they're in the fast lane passing other trucks, you actually go to the right hand lane and just put your bumper out a little bit and just put your indicator on, and then they see it. And then when they find an open spot, they'll just turn in, and then you just fucking blast past them.
So you're having like the best day of your life.
Super good.
Yeah, you're just blasting through Japan in a Hachi you just bought. Man, at 16, that's what dreams are made of. I had a Mercedes 190E that I tried to like fix one of the windows on, and I shattered it, but I like was too broke and didn't know how to work on cars. So I was like, well, I guess that's what it is, you know? Someone stole my radio because the window was gone. Man, I love that car. That shit was tight.
Bro, 190E, I learned to drift in a 190E.
Did you?
Like on a field.
Sick. Yeah. I learned how to like open diff rain drift in it. It was automatic, and it was like it was a 2.3 non-Kazi, so like the really shitty one.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you know what, man? It got stolen from my house. I threw a house party and someone stole it. Like they like stole.
You're joking.
They filled it full of like stuff from my house and then just took off with it. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Fucking hell.
You know?
That's a story to tell your kids, mate.
Yeah. Be like, don't ever throw a house party because they're gonna steal your shit, not mine. All my good stuff. My good stuff's locked up, right?
Yeah. Oh, far out.
Dude, I'm so in for it. If I ever have kids, they're gonna make my life miserable. Like I made my mom's life so hard. Anyway.
Karma's a bitch.
I used to. I shouldn't say any of that. Oh, she's gonna hear it. She's probably gonna listen to this. I used to take her car out like at 14, and I would go. She had a Volvo S80. It was like shit. It was the turbo one, so it was like a straight six turbo Volvo, but like front wheel drive. Dude, I used to drive that thing. I would do like J turns in it and stuff. And I brought it back one time. We went to go. Oh, this is.
You're gonna get in trouble.
sorry, Mom. I'm finally gonna tell you what happened. So I was with a couple of my not so great friends, a couple of degenerate types, you know, and they're like, let's go pick up these
Yeah.
girls. And like we're all
Yeah.
14 and they're drinking, and I'm like, all right, I'll, you know, I'm not gonna drink. I'll like, you know, but we'll take the car. We'll go get these chicks, you know.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So we
Yeah.
like drive out there,
Yeah.
go get them, and there's four of us, and there's two of them, so we're like six people in this like sedan, and I'm driving this car like it's Gran Turismo, and I'm like trying to break it, you know, like, but I don't know that, you know what I mean? Like I'm like pulling the e-brake and like, you know, trying to do donuts, even though it's front wheel drive. I have like no idea what I'm doing, doing like J turns and stuff. It starts to rain, and I've never driven in the rain before in a like road car.
Yeah.
I'm literally exiting this like highway off ramp. That's like one of the like 270-degree like circles. And I'm flying. I'm doing like 85 into this thing with six people in the car. And I lose the back going up the fucking ramp, and I like tag the rear bumper and the rear like, and probably the front too. Like I think I just caught the wheel because it jumped up a little bit and like went back down. I kind of like, I did like a little like a two-wheeler, but like jumped up, not on this way, not like where the car was going to roll, but like it just hopped and back down. Pretty much like what we do when we're learning how to drift and we hit a K-wall, same thing. I drive the car, and it feels messed up, dude. I'm like, I just totaled this car. I don't know what to do. And I get out and literally like the rear bumper is just kind of like hanging off. But I like, it has like all those like nice little like clips on the side where you can like pop them back in. So I like pop the clips back in. The bumper's back on, and it like kind of looks legit, right? Like it doesn't really look that bad. Like there's like a little dent on the quarter panel, like above the rear bumper. I don't know that that's a big deal at the time. You know, I'm just like, I don't know. It's probably fine.
What is? Yeah.
So I drive it back, and I definitely bent the front wheel. Like the front wheel was shaking like super bad, like the whole way back. And I'm like, well, and everybody in the car is just like silent, you know, because they're like, oh, he's fucked.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So I like dropped the car off at the house, and then we go like get drunk or whatever we were gonna do. But I'm sitting there like sulking the whole time because I was like, I'm dead, you know. And my mom wakes up the next morning, and she goes to drive her car, and she calls me, and she's like, what the fuck did you do to my car? And I was like, I don't know. You know, like I was like, wasn't me, you know. And my mom's like,
just play it off, like
yeah. And to like she would bring it up all the time, like for years. I was 16, so this is like, I don't know, probably this is like literally half my life ago, you know. I'm 31 now, so like for like a very long time she'd bring it up like randomly, like, whatever did happen to my Volvo that one night? And I'd just be like, I don't know. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, partner's numb, now you know.
But guess what? It's fine, because that car got totaled randomly. She was parked in a parking lot like a couple months later, and it got hit and ran, and like they like tore the front bumper off and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, was it bad?
She wasn't in the car, obviously.
No, she was like in the mall or something. I don't know. That seemed anyway. Anyway.
That wasn't you either, doing the hit and run. Leave no evidence.
Nope. No, that was not me. I crashed my 190E trying to race a 3000 GT once with my friend in the car. Also, you know what, dude? I probably shouldn't tell all these stories. This is all really embarrassing. Anyway, so you bought a Hachi and you drove to Japan.
No. Moving on. Yeah, that was a good experience.
My friend that was in the car with me at the time literally will not get in the car with me drifting for like the last like 10. He's still like one of my super close friends, and like he's come to drift events, but he won't get in the car with me because he remembers how many times like I like hit stuff when I was like trying to be cool, you know. And he just like
Yeah,
won't. He's like,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, I'm not down. And I think just now, like as of this year, he's like, I'll come check it out. You know?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thanks, dude.
yeah. I think you know what you're doing now.
Yeah, joke's on him, dude. I still don't.
Uh, yeah. Neither do I. Trust me.
I don't know, man. Some of those, like you said, you were just breaking the car in after coming back from Japan. Like some of those entries at the Animal Style GP stuff in that Corolla, like were nuts, dude. I was like, okay. I was like, damn, does everybody here drive like this? Like,
Yeah, no, it was. I think driving in Japan like that really changed how I drove because I mean, I've driven there a few times and I've driven a bit over the years, but like being in Osaka and Nara with the guys that are just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, like it just changes the way that you think about driving. It's crazy. So like it was and driving with Casey and all those boys was just that was something else. It was very, very cool.
when did you start? When did you start driving in Japan? Or was that? Did you get there first?
No, like I've never lived in Japan, right? I've only
Yeah.
been there for like long stints, I guess, like 3 months or whatnot. But when I first started, like, it was 2018 when I bought my first car in Japan to drive in Japan.
Okay, so that S15 is only like a couple years old. I think I remember seeing it for the first time when I was like, "Whoa, okay, who's this dude?" You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you? Yeah, so you drove. Yeah, I've seen you drive at Meihan in it like once, I think.
Hmm. Was that at the Purple Spirit Day, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was pretty bad on my behalf.
Um, hey man,
My favorite part of that day. My favorite part of that day was doing the burnouts, doing the parade lap. It was fucking That's how bad my driving was because the burnouts overtook my actual driving skill that day.
I
So
mean, the parade lap was cool. I saw
yeah,
some crazy shit during the parade lap.
yeah, funny.
Some very unexpected interactions that day. But you know
Yeah,
what? That's fine, you know?
yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
That yeah, I know. I think I just clicked what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, true.
Yeah. I was like, huh, okay. I was like, that's like some stuff that you would see. Just to give like a brief overview, there was a confrontation that happened in the pits that then carried somewhere else, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but it's like something that you would see probably at Sonoma Drift. Like I've seen some brawls at Sonoma Drift, and
Mm,
you're like, all right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this, I was like, this paints a picture that I felt was true, and now it's reality. You
But
know what I mean?
here's the difference though. Like normally in a brawl, you
Yeah,
wouldn't put the person that got fucked up in your passenger seat to show everyone that you fucked him up.
yeah. That was like probably one of the most gangster things I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, watch Aaron's Flash VM video from our Japan
Yeah,
trip for
yeah,
yeah, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But we're not going to talk about it
yeah.
anyway.
No,
we're
no,
not
no,
we're not naming any names. I don't want to be in the middle of nothing, dude.
no. No,
Uh,
I don't know nothing, bro.
um, yeah. So did you drive? So you drove in Japan. You would just go as like kind of like you would go there and like get a car for an event and then either like sell it or whatever. And then like what got you to the point where you're like, I just need to have a car there?
Yeah, I mean, most of the cars that I brought in Japan, up till that point, I'd brought back to New Zealand and either driven here and then part of it I was sold or whatnot. And thanks to my work, I was able to go there for like long stints, right?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, Japan having events on every weekend, and me being based in Osaka, I was just like, fuck, like I'm going to these drift events anyway. I was there taking photos and videos and that type of thing, and just generally hanging out. And you kind of like, it was cool because like Shane through Stackton, that like if they had a spare car, they let you drive it and do some laps, and you're just like, oh, this is it, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. And
so I was like, I had an S15 and
doing a couple laps at Meihan is like not enough to like start to get comfortable. It's like you're like, all right, like even one session, you're like, I think I can go like all in on the entry, and then the session's over by the time you've like worked up the courage to like really throw it in. Like, and especially in a borrowed car, like people in their own cars, I think would have a hard time getting comfortable enough to just like really throw it in like those guys do. Like if you watch, just being there and like driving the track is way different than like watching videos. Like you watch videos and you see people like, oh, that run was whatever. Like that's still really fucking hard to do.
Yeah, it's wild. Hey, like it's actually wild. Like you watch the videos of like All Stars from 2013, for example, 14, 15, that type of thing, and like it's good driving then, and that's on a video, and then you're there in real life, you're just like, how the hell are they doing that? Like every single time, the consistency, just bang, 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 bang. You're just like, holy crap.
Yeah. What's the mindset there? Because you speak the language, like like what are people just trying to like be the best driver they can? Like that is the goal of like driving so much. Like everyone wants to be like, it's not like a competitive thing. Is it like I want to be better than this person, or is it like I want to be like the best I can be kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's both, right? It's one pushing themselves to the limit, and trying. I mean, there is obviously a competitive side of things, especially at All Stars and that. But it's not like competitive, like I'm going to beat your ass type thing. It's more so like I'm going to try as best as I can to win. But if I don't, then you drove better than I did. It's pretty simple, which is cool because there's a lot of camaraderie and that type of thing from that. But they just push themselves, they just push themselves to get better and try different things every time. And if it doesn't work, then they revert back to doing what they used to do and maybe just trying different little techniques. And it's so sick to just watch because every year, like I went to Kansai All Stars consecutively for probably 5 years, and it was crazy how good people got. And that's not just saying like the beginners or anything like, or the intermediate. Even the experts were getting better and better and better each year, which is fucked. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like you thought they were good, and you were like, "What the hell?" Like they just stepped it up again.
Yeah, there's like almost no shot at like catching those dudes at this point. Like with the amount of like on that track, right? Like with the amount of like hours that they put in on that course, like I don't care who you are, you show up, you're getting left.
Yeah. The only person that I would say has like really kind of like pushed himself to drive as much as he can to catch up is Casey.
Yeah, and it shows, man. It definitely shows.
Yeah, his sole purpose of moving was just to go and drive at Meihan, pretty much.
I'm really interested to see like how he is in like a couple years with how much he's been driving and how much better he's gotten in like this window, man. Like we'll see. I guess I mean, if he can keep up doing the events and all the stuff that goes with it, like he's gonna be a monster.
Yeah. Well, he's already getting up there, right? I mean, for Nara Prefecture and the last year's All Stars, they do like qualifying per prefecture, but sometimes they I guess collaborate two prefectures into one day for qualifying, and they do that, and then they obviously rank you and whatnot depending on your driving. But he won first outright for Mie Prefecture, which is like Fujio and like Tanakasemi, that prefecture, and Nara, which is like Mickey and everyone else as well. So that like he's already up there, dude. Like it's fucking impressive.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, we also some catching up to do, I guess.
Yeah. 100%. I like. It's funny because we both bought our cars in Japan at pretty much the same time. For some odd reason, the world worked out that whenever I was going over, he'd be there, or he was going over at the same time. So we and that was I think 3 years consecutively. So we kind of each trip just met up with each other, and then we both decided to buy cars at the same time. And then go from there. So he was kind of like my rival in driving, and then since I've been back, I'm just like, fuck, motherfucker.
Yeah. So about that rivalry, like, hey, can I just, it's fine. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
But I mean, he kind of, he set himself up to be able to do that. Like, if that makes sense.
100%. 100%.
I see that
he put a lot of commitment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're married. You live in New Zealand. Casey's he's living that like.
I've got 2 cats.
Yeah. We're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have like done all this stuff. Maybe I should have just started a company and moved to Japan or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like, not everybody can do that. Not everybody has, and it's not even like not everybody can do that. It's like not everyone, like even given the opportunity, would do that. Yeah. Like, dude didn't even have like a way to take showers for a while. You know what I mean? Like he was that in it, which is sick. Like,
it was awesome, man.
1,000% committed. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes.
Because 100%. Like I lived with them for like 2 weeks, and like we were doing, we got like the big pet bottle, like plastic bottles of water, and it's summer, so it's hot as fucking outside anyway. So you'd just be out there, just kind of scrubbing yourself, going, "Yeah, sweet, that's good. I'm sweet," and then you do the old shower, just make you smell good, and off you went. But it was hard. I actually went up to the hot springs, which is like 5 minutes up the road.
Okay.
Sometimes just to.
So not the worst.
Right, but Casey was committed to the cause.
Yeah, come wintertime, those hot springs aren't so hot.
No. Yeah, but I think he's pretty over it now, so he's going to find a proper base with a shower and just general amenities.
Yeah, well, he's like achieved the level of driving that it requires to be like in that thing, and now he can just kind of like. So, but I don't think he's gonna stop based on what I've seen. He's gonna keep charging, which is like, man, I just want to see. And it's so good because he's not doing. I think that my favorite part about it is he's not doing the drive. He's not doing any like look at me stuff. He's not doing the driving to like be somebody or like be I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
it's the other way around, right?
Yeah. He's like not even really promoting his own driving to promote his brand. Like he's like keeping like the aesthetic that like Shirts Tucked In is, and then like he's just going and driving, and that's like two totally different things, which is really cool and kind of like refreshing. It's not usually like that. Usually it's like, hey, I'm going driving, check this out. I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes.
And then market your brand thereafter.
Yeah. So it's
100%.
I don't know. He's got the recipe. Struggle in odd ways so that you can succeed in the ways that you want. I like to be comfortable though, so you know, I'm probably never gonna be that good.
Well, obviously I'm the same because I'm doing this from my house in New Zealand, so not in buttfuck nowhere in Nara. But no, it's a lifestyle choice, I think, for him. And it was cool while I could do it. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. You know, I'd probably do it as well if my wife let me, let me, but then she would leave me. So
like when you coming back and like, I don't know, when I'm better than Casey.
yeah. Yeah. So no, it's all to him, mate. It's super good. And like, you know, even in Australia, like I guess one of the things that you kind of pointed out was that, you know, a lot of people tend to go out and build these big, you know, fucking big builds, just to, you know, for the first drift car and learn how to do it that way. And it's just like, well, now, like even myself and probably yourself and a lot of the guys that are into it now, they started off with junk boxes like NAs and, you know, just simple basic setups and wanted to go and learn how to drive. And I think a lot of people are you know, kind of getting onto that now, which is good.
It seems like it,
you know, that's kind of where it started from. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed. I feel like drifting is growing, and there's still like, I feel like a couple years ago, maybe like 5-6 years ago, it was like FD was like the only thing people wanted to do, and then now there's kind of like there's options, so the kids like can, and because some of the other stuff is bigger, and you have like dudes like LZ who are doing FD, but then they also go do like the smaller events or whatever, and you have guys like Casey who, you know, he has his own kind of like follow. Dude, people love that shit. People love shirts tucked in, man. I see shirts tucked in merch fucking everywhere. Like I was eating in a ramen place in like 7 hours from my house, and some dude had a shirts tucked in jacket on, you know, and I was just like,
you're joking. Holy crap.
Yeah, I literally was just like I was just passing through. I think it was in like Santa Barbara or something. And the guy, I was like, oh, I was like, shirts tucked in, cool. And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, are you going to the event? And he's like, what? Because we were on our way to an event. I think we were on our way to, we were on our way to Apple Valley / Grange, whatever you want to call it. And the guy like had no idea about the event. And I was like, I mean, this is literally like this, we're going to go do the shit that Casey does, you know, like, and he's like, oh, okay, sick. I was like, you should come check it out. He's like, yeah, sure. And I think the dude showed, you know what I mean? It's like, there's like, I don't know if I think because there's more people to like look at and different varieties of like driving style and like car build like mindset, there's more like kind of options. And let's be real, there's a lot of us are broke getting into this, and seeing somebody go rip in like a car that's not crazy built is way more exciting because you're like, I can do relatable. I could do that with my car, you know. If I had 800 horsepower, I could smoke up the whole track, I guess, you know, but like I'm not gonna be able to do that. Like
it's funny though. Like I think we're probably both in a phase now. We're like, well, what if we did have a 800 horsepower car? What, I wonder how we would drive, like, if you know what I mean. Because like I guess we've been kind of stuck under the 400 horsepower kind of. I
just broke 300 like 10 years into drifting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good sounding 300 though.
Yeah, that's because all the exhaust pressure is going out my wastegate. I was like, can't keep it close. That's a whole other story. But
I mean, I've been the same. It's like 4H for like 10 years, and that was like 100 horsepower type thing, and then stepping up to an SR20 and getting like I think it was like 385 horse or something, and that was just something else. It was just a big step up.
I can't imagine in the Corolla. Like you probably had to do so much drivetrain stuff. Like what diff do you have?
I run a Hilux diff, so it's like a 8-inch G series. Yeah. and I've been running a lock diff the whole time, which is I have been running two ways in the other cars, like but yeah, this one's got a lock diff, so it is actually really really hard to drive. I
Interesting.
finally got a two-way for it.
Maybe I should go two-way. Jason and I are both welded.
Mm,
Ours are both locked.
mm-mm,
Yeah. You say no go?
no, two-way. Yeah,
What
it makes a huge difference, which is just
what do you think
yeah.
the
You wouldn't
biggest
think so, but
yeah, like what are the differences? Because there's people
so
I've always been skeptical because it's like, like the OGs are like two-way is the only way. Welded is BS. And then you're like, okay, well, is that just because welded was like the BS cheap way to do it? Or is there actually a reason that it's better? So I trust your opinion.
yeah.
If
I mean, yeah, my personal opinion is the only thing, or not the only thing, but one of the main things that make a two-way better is like when you go and follow someone and with a lock diff, because two wheels are both spinning at the same time, right? Even when you're decel, they're still turning at the same pace. Whereas if you're following someone and you want to just adjust your speed to stay where you're at and you put in the clutch, it would allow the wheels to slip, and it won't have the real hard out force motion of the wheels both turning, like reversing at the same time. It'll let one slip at a different rate, and it gives you a lot more control.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I have some
And same with entries, I guess. Like bang, and then you put on the clutch. Like sometimes because you're not on the handbrake the whole time, you're just in the clutch, and then the rear wheels spin freely.
yeah.
With a two-way, because I guess the trailing wheel would still be spinning the same as the leading wheel. It actually makes it hard to get, the lose the amount of traction that you need to get it out to the
Interesting.
point where you can whereas with a clutch, you just put the clutch in, LSD lets it like loosen up, and then it just freely spins as to kind of is more natural, I guess.
Okay. Interesting. Man, I might have to try this.
Mm.
I
I recommend it.
I'm like messing around with I just like redid some stuff on my car and retuned it. It made like almost the same power, and I was like, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But
Trial and error, bro. Trial and
yeah,
error. It's all good.
yeah. So it feels faster, so that's tight. I don't know. I want to like do some dumb shit, but
Yeah.
I think maybe a diff might be a good place to start because I drove it with the stock.
Mm.
Like the stock BMW diff is actually decent. Like a lot of people would just get new diff. Like there's like a company that makes like a rebuild kit that's like more of a two-way style for the like factory limited slip. So I was like thinking
Yeah.
about doing that, and then I just put a welded in it. So I mean, I've been driving on welded pretty much since I started drifting. I had like a VLSD in my S13 for a little bit, but maybe that's the next thing I need to check out. Someone was just telling me that they put one
Yeah.
in their E36 and it was like night and day, and it made the car way faster in chase.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I just don't like the
See,
idea of
I'm not talking shit if one other person agrees.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be there's got to be something to it. Also, I think the other thing that I've noticed is when you're setting up to like, for example,
Loading the car.
yeah, well, even before that, right? So like at Meihan, that left onto the straight, there are a lot of courses that have that. So like at Apple Valley or Grange or whatever you want to call it, when you come around and you hit that little kink, I feel like if you
Mm.
off throttled, you could get both tires to kind of like, but if you're locked and you like come around and you get on it, like the car's already stepping out and people in front of you are just going to take off.
Yeah.
I think,
100%.
I think that's got to have something to do with it too. Like, just in certain sections where you want to off throttle and make the car turn better.
Well, one thing that I learned up in Japan is, especially when you're following someone, is that the lead up to the corner is the most crucial point.
Yeah.
To keep the proximity is you have to follow them, right? You have to be at the same speed as them, because by the time you go and load up and they're like 20 meters in front of you, you're never going to catch up unless you take a really shitty line to come back in. So like to be able to, like you said, kind of to be able to follow them closely and not step out or lose traction, it really helps there with the LSD. So
Yeah. You telling me, I remember telling you this. Everyone always said, like, look at the front wheel when you're chasing. If you want to, like, if that's where you want to be, if you want to be on somebody's door, you like look at the front wheel. You know, depending on where you want to be on their car, like you look at the front wheel. That's, you know, that's what Kato says, what Julian said, like look at the front wheel. And then you can also see like what they're doing. The problem for me is when I focused on the front wheel, I like lose everything else. And so you said look at the front fender. And that was like the game changer for me, because I started looking at the front fender and you can look over the front fender so you can see where the car is going. Because that was always like the thing that would mess with me. I'd look at the front wheel, but I couldn't see like behind the car that I was chasing. And it just didn't work. So like I look at the top of the front fender now, and that was it. That was like one of the big, like, gave me the key, unlocked the door, and I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm in here.
Well, I watched a Apple Valley Speedway video, like the one that you just drove on the weekend. I think it was John's one, the Keisuke one, where he had the drone up, and like it looked like you were like either tapping people or like following them real close, which is real good to see.
Yeah, I got to hit Jason, I think 3 times, which is I think I've hit him 5 times total, like ever in like the history of us drifting. So 3 times in one event is like pretty good. But man, it's hard. It's so hard to keep up. Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with that dude. Like I was like giving it everything. So I mean, it's like, it's nice because like chasing him is such a good target, because if I can keep up with him, I can kind of keep up with whoever. But I'm really working on like being able to follow people who like slow down abruptly or like do weird shit. Like I just cannot do that. Like
it's super hard to what's the word? Like I guess it is adjusting, but I mean, it's super hard to figure out what they're going to do before they do it.
Yeah.
And especially people that aren't consistent, or, you know, they do, I guess, don't drive. And this isn't trying to be, you know, a dick or anything, but they drive a little bit different to us.
Yeah.
But it's still fun to follow, you know, like if you can follow that, then and adjust what you're doing to suit them. That's, I mean, I guess Naoki's a very, very good example, and he will follow anyone. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, you know, really, there's that difference in ability just in that. Like it just makes so much difference, being able to adjust and understand what the lead car is doing. And that's why, like, in his competitions and stuff, he's so close, like he's way closer than anyone else, you know?
Yeah. What's it like? I mean, what's it like hanging out with those dudes and like actually being able to understand what they're saying? Because like hanging out at End Style and just like having no fucking idea. Like I feel like Takumi is like really funny, and he's funny in English, so like he must be hella funny in Japanese. And then like I try, like Fujio liked all my pictures on IG for like a long time, and we'll message each other. He'll like post tires, I'll be like good, and he'll be like testing, and I'll be like, you know, nice or whatever, you know, like I'll like Google Translate it, and I try to like say hi to him, but I kind of like, it was like a weird thing. I think it was at one of the Meihan events, and like I was like, fuck man, like that dude is like, I was always been like, yo, that guy fucking, watching him throw the sparks with the wing on the wall was like, that was like one of the coolest things, because I'd seen it so many times, and I'm like, you know, I just fanboyed the fuck out, and I kind of like try to say like hi, but it's like there's like the language barrier or whatever, and I feel like those dudes are just like cool and like old school, and you're just kind of, I don't know, it's just weird. How do you I don't know, what's it like, man? Because I feel like you get to like actually hang out with them.
But I consider them my friends, and I hope they consider me as theirs. Like it's funny because, you know, like they are so funny. This is the thing, like they are crack up. Like I've never laughed as hard as I have in my life hanging out with those dudes, because it's just so funny. But like at the same time, like it's funny. Fujio, I'm the same as you, man. Like I reckon he's insane. You know, like the consistency that he has on that wall every single time is just mind blowing. But he, at first, he's a little bit standoffish. Like he's kind of, I think, maybe shy with first interactions. But then when he opens up, opens up like a butterfly. It's awesome, especially if you get him on the piss. It's fucking funny. Like we just it's fucking. He drinks like a fucking he's a big drinker. But we had one night with Fujio, me and Casey, after a Meihan day, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to go out for dinner?" We're like, "Yep, sweet, let's go." And it was just me,
You're
him,
like, yes.
Fujio, and his partner. Yeah. And we just went to this izakaya and ate and talked shit. But it was cool because like he told us the story about how him and Naoki kind of got together, and how Burst came about, and like why the colors were as per. So like one of the things is that Fujio had, I think his car was purple and Naoki's was pink. And they kept driving. They kind of randomly met up at this toge in the hills, and they started driving with each other. And they were like, "Fuck, like this is fun." And then they became friends through that. And then after,
recognize.
You know,
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. Because they're from different prefectures, right? So Fuji is actually from Mie prefecture, and then Naoki's obviously from Nara. So they're kind of like neighbors, but they're not in the same prefecture. So like for them to team up was a pretty big thing. And then after driving together for ages, they just said, "Oh look, well let's make a team," and that's why the pink and purple came about.
Dang, that's crazy. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, hanging out.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until he told me.
Just hanging out, going to dinner with legends. I love the I love that they all carry like the big like wallets in their back pocket. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I don't know. But it's like
Japanese thing.
Yeah, but it's like cool though. Like
yeah.
To them, they all have like the like designer like big wallet, and they keep it in their back pocket. Yeah. You're just like, okay, that guy's he's OG. And you're like, all right, I'm not. Yeah, I can't. I would. It's like typically, whatever. Anyway, I don't know.
I know what you mean though. Like they've got their own style. I guess Japan's always had a different kind of fashion sense to the rest of the world, and
But like,
and some of them have just kept it.
Yeah, and then like even just like walking around Osaka or like Tokyo, like the drift dudes have like their own like kind of like interesting like swagger style to them, like even just the way they dress and stuff. I don't know. I mean, dude, like how many of your friends like got parachute pants because of Naoki? Because like I don't want to say how many, but it's been like Aaron last time he's like, I want to get those pants, and then someone's like, yeah, they sell them at like truck stops or whatever, because they're like like if you like are a truck driver,
workers pants.
Yeah, they're like workers pants, and he's like, shit, I need it. Like we got to find these, and like he was like trying to find them the whole time we were there, because he's like, I just want to have some,
I'd love to see Aaron in those parachute pants, to be honest. I'd fucking pay for that to have an event. So Aaron, if you're listening, we're gonna get you some.
Next time you're there, dude. He would love that. Because he was like he was trying hard to get some of those. Like we were like, it was like we had to like make some decisions, like if we were gonna like do this or do that, and it was like he's like, no, like I want to go get the pants like that, and we're like, like not not
priority.
not pushy, but it was like definitely a high priority for him on the trip.
Yeah. But apparently, like they're really comfortable. Like they're actually usable pants.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, now he's obviously a man of comfort. It's like Crocs. Big comfortable pants.
Just hoodies.
Lack of restraint while driving. It's like he's just very like he likes to be free.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. Like Naoki is a free man. Like he's I'm not going to say anymore. He's a very, very free man. Yeah, it's fucking funny.
Yeah. How did you?
I'll tell you about this one time. Fucking at Meihan. I think it was after an All Stars, and it was the first one that Casey drove, maybe, and afterwards, you have your prize giving and all that type of thing, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to have a barbecue, so do you want to come?" And like they asked me and Casey and Shane and stuff like that, and they're like, "Yeah, sweet, we'll go." And then we went to this place in Meihan, which is behind Tanaka Sami's gas station, because I don't know if you know, but Tanaka Sami owns a gas station.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
That's his day-to-day job.
Sick.
Yeah. And like we rocked up there, and it was all of the legends, like all of Team Purple, like Fujio, Naoki, Mickey, who was it? Fukada, Yasuki.
That's to do with
Tanaka Sami,
S14,
the guy
right?
that won. Yeah, S14.5, yeah. And the guy that won All Stars that year, Nakatsuka-san from N-Style, Takumi, and Ozai-san, it was his place, who's like a proper legend from back in the day as well. And yeah, Felipe and all that, and it was surreal, dude. Just hanging out with these dudes that you've always looked up to for so many years, and just hanging out. And Naoki got drunk, and that was just my cheeks were just. I could not contain myself. It was the funniest thing.
I don't think I've ever seen him drink.
But I've never ever seen him drink other than that time.
Really? So it's like a once in a year type of thing for him or something? That's crazy. I thought he was just like I don't drink kind of guy, because he's already like kind of crazy, and kind of like off the wall. Like I can't imagine that dude after
pretty loose. Yeah.
How'd you get like how'd you come across like that whole did you just like go to Meihan and you like met people, or like what was your like way into because like that's like you're in, like you hang out, you go to dinner with these people, and like a lot of people around the world, I'm sure, like don't even know what half of them look like, they just know the cars and the driving.
Yeah. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I just went there and just kind of introduce myself, I guess, and take photos and do all that type of thing, and that's pretty much what I've been doing this whole time is trying to get involved in any way possible. If I'm not driving them, I'm there taking photos, and that's what I was doing when I was like 13. I love drifting that much that I just go and get amongst it. But with those guys specifically is I think one of the biggest things was actually getting Naoki here for the D Club event, the Pink Style GP.
Yeah.
How long ago is that? 2017, I think it was. And we really hit it off then. But although I'm saying that because through Shane and stuff like that as well, funnily enough, my work office was literally like 2 minutes away from Shane's yard. So after work, I just go there and just hang out and get bitten by mozzies and get covered in concrete dust. But and Naoki would rock up and would help him work on his car and do other thing and just hang out and just talk shit. So it was from there and going to Meihan and just being involved. I guess that's
Yeah. So you're just around it.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And it's funny because it's the
I feel
Japanese thing, I think, is like if you're not there in front of them all the time, you don't like after, for example, a month of being away, they kind of really forget about you if you're
yeah.
not in all the time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of
But
people
yeah,
come through for like short times, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's like a lot of people are, I mean, it's probably a revolving door of people coming from all over the world trying to like, yeah, get whatever out of it.
Mm,
I don't,
yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine that. I'm sure it'd be kind of,
Mm,
as long as you're not like, I feel like as long as you're not trying, like if you're not like
mm,
over promising and like doing this to like
yeah,
try and
yeah,
get in, like maybe like if you're just like doing your own thing, but you're
yeah,
like
yeah.
within the vicinity of people and you like kind of
Mm.
aren't shitty, it's just natural to like be like, yeah, we're barbecuing. You want to barbecue? You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down to
Oh,
go hang
do
out with
you just want to
legends.
hang out? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to hang out and shoot the shit and just talk and have a good time. I mean, that's when they're gonna, you're gonna become friends with them at the end of the day. It's not about being around. They're people at the end of the day. They're just like you and I. Like we're just here shooting the shit and having a good time, talking about crap that interests us. And it's the same with them. They just want to hang out and chill and just do dumb shit. So
Yeah. Yeah. Have a sense of humor. Don't take yourself too seriously.
yeah, yeah,
That's the way to like be. And if you're not funny, I don't know. You can just don't take yourself too seriously. Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Laugh at people's jokes. Just find
Yeah.
a funny person if you like don't have a sense of humor, and then just like when they laugh, you laugh. Because like if you don't understand, sorry, I feel like I'm attacking some random person somewhere. They're just gonna be like, "Fuck that guy, dude." Like I went to Meihan.
Sorry to people out there that don't have a sense of humor, but
dude, it must suck.
oh fuck.
That's like the only thing that gets me. It's the only thing that gets me through anything, dude.
Yeah, fucking hell. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes and laugh at other people because life's not good without a fucking laugh and a joke, man. Like fuck, you can't take anything seriously.
Yeah.
But,
keys to success from Keisuke. Remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking oats. I'll stand by that time. I'll make a shirt. Make some stickers.
Be funny or get the fuck out.
Yeah. But if we keep going, I'm gonna say some really bad things. So I'm probably gonna stop there.
Yeah, those are the best ones, dude. Those are the best. I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was watching like the Chappelle show, and there's this one cartoon called Drawn Together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it before, but holy shit, it is messed up, dude. Like it is. I watched it back in my teens, and we just got real wasted and watched it and had a real good laugh. And I hadn't watched it for years, and my mate like messaged me going, "Oh, like, what was that? What was that real fucked up cartoon that we watched? Like messed up?" And I was like, "Oh shit, there was." And I had a look on YouTube and look at the compilations, and oh my god, it is fucked up. Like if that was mainstream today, there'd be so many people rioting in the streets. It wouldn't be funny. Like it is. It's pretty good. I think that kind of covers, what we're talking about taking a person and taking a joke. I think
I have seen it. It was on Comedy Central, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like they were just like,
Yeah,
they're like, fuck South Park. Let's make like the craziest, most fucked up shit we can.
With all the racial stereotypes and shit, and it was just it was. So if you don't know how to laugh, have a look at that and see if you like it or not. If you don't, then you need to probably learn.
Should we start like a
Anyway.
a self-help? We could start self-help seminars of like how to have a sense of humor. Just like go out there and be like, hi.
Yeah. Fucking oats.
I have like a headset on. Hey,
do
you not know how to laugh?
We should do one of these with a Q&A.
Hi, so
a live Q&A. Be like,
so question. So my friend made a joke and it was funny, but I thought that it might offend someone that wasn't there, and I didn't laugh.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Well,
next
time. It'd be like someone made a joke and everyone laughed but me.
What should I do in that situation?
Does that mean I don't? Yeah.
What should I do?
Have a sense of humor? Like, no, you probably don't.
I mean, sometimes you don't get jokes. Like sometimes I don't get jokes.
Yeah.
So, but you gotta like just try and like listen.
Just chill out.
I think you gotta like listen to the words people are saying, and then figure out why it's funny. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we should do that. I'm down. We could do a self-help seminar.
Yeah.
We can make books. This is it, dude. This is gonna take off.
I'm keen to make books with you, Power. 100%.
Just so you know, I'm like borderline illiterate. So
yeah. That's all right. I'm Asian, so I type like 100 miles an hour anyway, so you're fine.
I'm just like dictating nonsense. So the pinnacle of a joke is when you say
business idea.
When you say something funny, you got to think about it, right? You got to set it up. It's like you're baking a cake. You're baking a cake, okay? You got to put in a little, you know the recipe, but sometimes you're gonna freestyle it because if you just do it to the recipe all the time, it's gonna come out boring. So you're gonna spice it up. You got a little
put the sprinkles on top. Yeah.
And then hit it with some racist frosting.
It always works. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Well,
that's just coming back to it. That's how Naoki and the crew are pretty much.
Good. All right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like Takumi like cracked me up, dude. Like, because he speaks like a little bit of English, but like if you can be funny in another language, like if you can be funny in a language that you like kind of speak, like you got like, you know what I mean? I can't imagine like being funny in Japanese. Like I want to be.
Yeah. Although in saying that, it's like having those keywords that they, it doesn't have to. You don't have to explain everything, but you just have those keywords that make sense. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if you learn those Japanese keywords, and you be like, bang.
I think like the only one that you could like really have like great timing with and get like if you know like 5 words in Japanese is if like something's like really fucked up and you hit them with the daijobu like that, like I know I said it hella terrible, but like I feel like that's the one that always gets people like
okay, daijobu.
That's the only time I got like a laugh in Japanese, and I'm gonna hold on to that forever.
Oh, far out. But yeah, no, it's exactly that, dude. Just having a laugh and try to communicate with them and just have fun.
Yeah,
it's good.
I mean, your Japanese is pretty strong.
Yeah, Yeah, it never used to be.
Really?
Like I like up to the age of 5 was half half, and then I went to school here in New Zealand. So like my English obviously just took over, and I forgot most of it. I was like, I could ask where the train is. Where is the train station in Japanese? Densha doko desu ka? And like that was about it. You know, like I couldn't
Yeah.
speak shit all. So I went over there when I was like 13 or something. Like stopped school for like 6 months and went over and thought about moving, but because I couldn't speak fuck all and that, and I couldn't make any friends in Tokyo because it's just a cold city. Fuck that place. It was hard, right? And I came back and I had all my friends and stuff here, so it was good. But when I met my wife now, my Japanese was pretty average, but it was better than what it was then, and she really got me back into the swing of things and started communicating and stuff like that. And likewise with her English, like she came here to learn English, and now she can take the phone and speak a conversation, not a problem. So like just doing that was really good, and being able to do that and communicate with the guys up in Japan and Nara and Osaka and stuff like that, it just made that extra kind of level of, you know, friendship and you know, just hanging out was
Yeah.
just so much better, and you can actually, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I always feel out of place. Like people be cracking up and I'm just like, I don't know what they said. Like, are they talking shit, dude? Like, are they fucking roasting me right now? I have no idea.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
probably are.
if, if they point and you laugh, 100%.
I'm just like, I'm over there with the fucking like the cloth fucking like gloves, like trying to fucking anyway. They're all outside like cracking up. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm getting roasted right now, dude, for sure. It's like sweating.
Yeah.
It's like
Bro,
5
how
a.m.
bad is summer in Japan?
It's hot, man. It's like Texas. Texas is like that. Texas is like
Mhm.
super humid and just like I did a work project in Texas and it's like the same thing. You like go outside and you're like back inside.
Yeah. Aircon, please. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
Far out. Yeah. It's
I don't know, man. I like is where you're at in New Zealand, like it's pretty like it doesn't snow obviously,
yeah.
and it doesn't get like crazy hot in
Not
the
in
summer.
Auckland. No.
Yeah. Does it snow? Does it
Yeah. It
snow
doesn't. It
anywhere in New
doesn't get.
Zealand?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like if we just go a little bit south,
Yeah.
there's a mountain like 3 hours away, and then if you go to the South Island, there's heaps of mountains. It snows.
So you're like in the
Pretty
super.
sick. I
Yeah.
would
I
I
want to
would move
go.
to the South Island if I could.
I want to go down there because
Dude, sick.
I came back from New Zealand and they're like, "What part were you?" I was like, "Oh, I was like outside of Auckland and kind of in there, and I went to some beaches and stuff." They're like, "You didn't go to the South Island?" It's like,
South Island.
should
Yeah.
I have? They're like, yeah, that's like where all the fucking every cool movie was ever shot and like has like the most badass like scenery in the world." And I was like,
Scenery. Yeah.
oh, so fucking
Yeah.
oops.
No, we did a trip down there. Yeah, we did a trip down there. I think a month ago, and like, oh no, it would have been like 2 months ago or something. But it was just crazy how nice it is down there, and like especially with like, you know, the borders not open, like there was just no
Yeah,
one
there's no
around,
tourists.
and
Yeah.
it was just no, which is mint.
Yeah.
but but yeah, no, it was very, 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 very cool.
I think you were the one that
I definitely
posted
recommend it for anyone that watches this. Yeah,
go to South Island. I'm gonna do
yeah,
it. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back with like my girlfriend and make like a trip out of it because
yeah,
I was like, she's like, "You're going to New Zealand? I want to go." And I was like, "You're not going to want to be on this trip. Trust me." I was like, "We're probably going to be doing vinyl like last minute." And lo and behold, we're going to be like hanging out the shop, like eating pizza. Like we're not going to like be
yeah.
like fucking carrying like animals around and like, you know,
No.
going to see the hobbits or whatever. I don't know.
What, Palmer, let me ask you this. What animal would you like to hold in New Zealand?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna say one that you don't have.
I reckon you'll be fine. I reckon you'll be sweet because if you say koala bears, I think that's Australia, but you know.
I was gonna say koalas. I'll say, how the fuck did you know that's what I was gonna say? You fucking knew it, dude. You set me up. I was like, actually, wait, I think that's Australia. I was like, because I was gonna say koalas and I switched to animals like last second.
Fuck it, we're all one country. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Brayden would love that because he's Australian and we take the piss out of him all the time. So,
dude, they got those like big ass spiders and shit over there. I feel like, you know, I don't know, man.
Right. Like if you get Brayden on, next time ask him about how he was an animal handler. Like he used to like handle snakes and fucking all that shit.
Get the fuck out of here! No way.
Nah, bro. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, he's an interesting dude. I was trying to get him on for like to do this podcast for a while, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I don't know, I'm busy, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever, like, you know, whenever you want. And he's like, oh, I just had a kid, but I could probably do it now because I'm home. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Sick. And,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He's funny, man. I don't know. I feel like a lot of everybody, there's like a lot of people that I've met through drifting that are just hilarious. Like, I don't know what that's like part of the reason I started this, because there's so many funny people in drifting. Like, not just that they drift, but they're also like really like you're definitely on that fucking list, man. Like, you crack me up.
There's a lot of characters, eh? Like,
there's like some weird people, man. But I think it's just like, I think it's like people who just there's like a commonality, because it's people who just kind of like, I feel like you have a certain level of like, I don't give a shit to even try it, let alone like pursue it. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to have like, you got to be like a little fucked up to go like, I'm gonna like slide cars around, and people are like, don't you have to drive that to work? You're like, don't you have to like, don't you have to like go to school in that? Or you're like, so I'll figure it out, you know?
It doesn't matter.
I feel like we all have like a little bit of like impulse control like missing, you know what I mean? But that's okay. That's like what makes
100%.
I think that's what makes like funny people, and also people who like to drift. Anyway, whatever. I think there's like an overlap.
I 100% agree. I think there's a lot of people that have a couple screws loose in their head to do this type of thing, and that's why we get along, because we kind of get each other.
We're all just like a little crazy in our own fucking weird way. And by a little, I mean, if I'm talking about myself, I would say I'm like pretty high up on the spectrum of weird, but it's okay, you know? It's fine. Yeah,
it's fun. I mean, for us, it's a little, but for other people out there, we're really fucked in the head. Hey, you know.
I mean, like,
no judgments here. It's all good.
When drifting wasn't really a thing, and you were like explaining to people what you tried to do, it was like the hardest thing to explain ever. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like, do you know what kite surfing is? Where they like put a kite on us, or there's like kite surfing, and then there's like wind surfing. Those are two different ones. But like, imagine like explaining that to like somebody. They're like, well, why don't you just go regular surfing? You know, you're like, well, this one I use a kite, and they're like, why? And you just surf. It's like, well, because it's windy. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like this weird thing that we found that we like have to do it. Like, we're just like,
I think the one way that I kind of explain drifting to people that don't know what the fuck it is realistically like, there's normal racing, because everyone knows what racing is, right? Just
Yeah,
normal grip racing, and that's like speed skating, and then drifting is like figure skating.
dude, sick. I've actually used that before, and Julian told me that that was not a cool explanation for what drifting is. And actually, I don't know if it was Julian.
Fuck.
So someone's like, dude, no, it's not. It's a stupid explanation. But dude, if you say that to like old people, they fucking get it. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They're like, oh, it's
They get
judged,
it, yeah.
and then sometimes
Oh,
there's
that makes
two.
sense.
There's two. You're like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
This is twin
it works
drift.
perfectly.
This is twin drift, and we like wear, we wear cute outfits on our cars, and we like we wear matching fucking leotards on our cars, and we like
they're all sparkly and shit.
yeah. We got chrome blades on, dude.
Oh fuck, that's perfect. It's fucking yeah.
I got 3-piece skates on, baby. They're not as light as the TE skates, but they're they look cool.
Yeah.
And we like go out to like a routine. Except
Actually,
there's no song that we get to pick, which like would be even cooler. Like imagine if they had like twin drift, but like as you're coming down the front straight, they play like a song that you pick. You're just like fucking welcome.
Well, actually, one thing I've really wanted to do is like even just in a skid pan have like a competition where you'd actually do that, like choreographed drifting.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And see how good you could get, because that'd be fun as fuck, to be honest with you.
They've been doing that in Oakland for years, dude.
Oh.
I saw one, dude. I fucking saw my friend Eric Mack was filming on like his IG story, literally like in downtown San Francisco, like right near the police station. There was just like a bunch of Pontiac G8s, which I think is like a Holden. It's a Holden something in Australia.
Monaro or whatever.
Yeah, it's the 4-door one. Anyway, who cares?
Commodore must be. Yeah,
there was 3 of them, all like perfectly. And I mean, like, sometimes it's kind of goofy, and it's just like it's like a Mustang doing those like spin out donuts, they like do the big whips and stuff. But like this was like 4 cars.
C's.
Yeah. Is that how C's Garage got their name?
Yes, no.
I'm sorry, garage. Yeah. Anyway, there's like 4 of them, and they were all like really they were like pretty much like door-to-door tandeming each other, like around someone filming in the middle. And I think it was like for a rap video that they should not have been, that they did not get permits for. Let's just say that. There was like hella undercover cop cars like pulling up around them, trying to box everybody in. So, but yeah, some of that stuff's cool. As long as you don't hit anybody, I guess. Like it's kind of like, but it's like it's a thing. I don't know.
What, hitting people is a thing?
Yeah, there's because everyone tries to like run out and touch the cars. There's an Instagram called like Get Back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an Instagram called like Get Back or Get Smacked, and it's literally all just clips of people getting hit at sideshows or takeovers or whatever you want.
I'm gonna follow that. Hold on.
I gotta stop shouting. This is like I think the second time I brought that up on this podcast. But there's like a few of them, man.
What is it called?
Get Back or Get Smacked.
How good! Oh my god, that's awesome. Give me a follow.
I'm happy to give the rest of the world eyes into the mess that is what we got going on. You know what, dude? Whatever. Anyway, choreograph like drifting routines, or like you like both enter, and then like one car catches the other car and like picks it up over its head.
It's like what's that movie with Will Ferrell? Fucking
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory, that's the one. It's like that.
That's a classic. Actually, I can't think of a single bad Will Ferrell movie.
No.
Like
I watched Austin Powers the other night, and he was
the
in there as the dude with the real funny hat on.
yeah, the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched the first one like a couple weeks ago too, man.
yeah. No shit.
Yeah, he has like a what is it? Is it like a
I just crack
what
it
kind of
up.
hat is that? It's like a I think it's called like a fez. Is it called a fez? Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know anything.
I'll believe you on that one.
Okay. That's a classic movie, dude. Elizabeth Hurley, fucking
Mm.
babe, dude.
Yeah, mint. Yeah, would bang out of 10. Still, even now, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Should be I yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, it,
Will Ferrell, dude. I feel like Talladega Nights is pretty much just like a live action version of like most drift events in the US.
yeah. I want to go. I want to experience that. It sounds pretty fun.
There's like people coming from overseas and they're like a big deal. And then there's like the main guy.
Yeah.
It's like it's very, Formula D, I think, and Talladega Nights have like a lot in common. Let's just like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll believe you on that one too. I need to experience that for myself. But
It's I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see like how, like, what do people watch FD in New Zealand? Do people watch FD in the US and Japan? Do they like watch it from Japan to?
yeah, I'm not too sure to be honest. I assume they do, like people that are into it. But New Zealand they definitely do. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I don't know if the Japanese do, to be honest.
Because they like went over there and they're doing FD Japan. Like, do people think that that's like? Because I mean, like a few of the like Team Purple guys like did it right. Like Vito, I think
Mm.
did FD Japan, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
just him. I don't know. Whatever.
yeah. Or like some of the Osaka guys, or Kansai drivers, like Hisano.
Yeah,
He's got the G Corp S15.
yeah.
He did FD.
I love that car.
Vito.
That car sounds so
Yeah,
crazy at Meihan
super
with the
good
like
car.
giant turbo with all the lag, and then it just like comes on like halfway through the straight. You're like, oh god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fully street legal car to this day. Still.
What? That G Corp S15?
Yeah.
Insane.
How good, eh? Yeah, it's fucked up. But yeah, he's I think those guys. There's a couple other dudes that do it as well, but
Do they
pretty
think
cool.
that FD is cool? I don't know. It's like it's kind of hard to tell, right? Like it's weird that we
Mm,
have different. I mean, I guess we have like different types of racing all over the world, and then we have like stuff that then we have like F1, which is like goes everywhere. But like we
yeah.
have NASCAR versus like V8 supercars, and that's kind of like the same
Mm-mm.
idea, except
Indy and yeah.
yeah. I guess it's good to have options.
Mm. And like I think even there was a huge stigma about Formula Drift and them just doing those banked corners and stuff like that, and how it was more of a drag race than anything else. But like if you look at it from a driver's perspective, it actually takes a bit of skill to be able to drive on a bank and drift. Like it's not all just
Yeah,
power really. It's
yeah. Banks are
and a
actually
lot of the drivers in Japan were like, shit, it's pretty cool.
yeah, banks are actually kind of challenging because like if you lift at all, it just like flicks you into the. It just carries you up the wall. Like you can't like get out of it. You have to like turn in down the hill. But if you
Mm,
lift,
mm,
that's
mm.
and that's part of the reason I think left foot braking is big, but it's like not, it still looks goofy, but it's like because you have to have like that downhill push. You have to like if you need to slow
Mm,
down, like
mm,
that's
mm.
how you have to do it because you can't just like e-brake because you'll just carry up into the wall.
You just go, yeah, yeah.
I actually didn't think about that until right now.
And
Huh.
yeah, I'm opening up your mind, Palmer. Like
Yeah.
It's 100% true because like what's funny because I play a lot of Assetto, right, and I've been jamming it more and more frequently just because I haven't been driving and it's good kind of image training. But like a lot of the dudes online, they tend to left foot brake when they don't need to,
Yeah.
and I think that will affect if they drive in real life, they'll probably want to do the same thing, which is actually a really bad habit.
Left
When
foot
you're
braking
just
in
driving normally.
Assetto is really helpful, and trying to do the same type in real life is not the same thing. So if you play Assetto
Yeah.
and you left foot brake a lot, like it does not work the same way in a real car.
No.
Because I've tried it. Because I learned how to left foot brake in Assetto because I kept getting in these weird situations where I'd have to like stay behind people. And I was like, oh, in the game you can just left foot brake and like it just slows the car down and you can like drift behind slow people. Shit does not work in the same in real cars.
No. And that's something that I think it's good that Assetto has, I guess, is a way to bring new drivers, up and coming drivers, into the scene, and it gets them keen to go drifting, which is cool. But there's a lot of things out there that I guess like left foot braking and that type of thing. It's just there's always a time and place for it, and it shouldn't be a habit. And that's the one bad thing about Assetto that's kind of I've seen that people just left foot brake for no fucking reason. It's like you don't need to do that there,
Like you can go fast. It's okay to go fast.
Yeah.
It's a fast section.
Yeah, you can just keep going, keep your foot pinned, and hit limiter. That sounds way better than left foot braking.
Yeah. Let's add load to that engine.
Yeah. No, like I guess it's funny FD and stuff like that. It is there's a technique to that as well. It'd be cool to see some of those drivers try the Japanese technique.
And there is a difference. It's like at this point, before I don't know, like a couple years ago, I had a hard time telling the difference, but now I can. And that was after like 7 years of drifting. I was like, I mean, like I kind of get, and then like I feel like once you do it, I don't know what I'm saying. Once you like,
but you figure it out, right?
Yeah. Once you do it, then you see it, but it's hard to see until you do it the two different ways. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Unless you're a real nerd like me.
Yeah.
And you kind of watch a lot of videos and you're like, oh yeah, that's what you kind of understand the concept of it. And then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
I feel like that's the case for a lot of people. I'm just like, I like have to learn by doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Or like, I don't know
it's funny.
I don't know which style I'm doing until I've done both like successfully. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like I can perceive it, but I can't like perceive myself doing it.
That makes sense. I mean, one thing that's quite funny is like
maybe I'm full of shit.
Kawabata, for example.
Yeah.
That may be possible, but yeah. Kawabata, he is an absolute drift nerd. Like he is like he knows all of the history of D1. He knows all the history of Ikaten. He knows all the history of like, for example, Carboy Doricon, and like all the history of Japan. And he can remember exactly how each driver's kind of, or especially the legendary drivers, what they've done in each, in their sphere. And it's actually really impressive. Like, and I guess that's kind of the commitment it takes to actually get really, really good. Is obviously with anything else, you just immerse yourself in it. And it was surprising to understand that a driver of his, his level is like that as well. He's just, he like, must have a collection of fucking everything,
and like still studying, probably to this day. Yeah. I think that's where I was lacking up until the last couple of years. I was just driving on feel a lot, and I wasn't really trying to take in the the differences. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I was going off like instinct a lot and not actually like studying my runs or other people's runs or whatever. And I kind of want to do that. I think it would be cool to do that like with people, like pull up clips and be like, what made that a good run? What like, and be able to point out differences.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there who haven't really taken the time to, or maybe they have, maybe I'm just fucking weird, but I think it'd be like helpful. I mean, at least just have like people who like really can drive, like, not necessarily myself. I wouldn't consider myself like really fucking good. I'd say like, I'm decent and I'm getting better, but like people who like really fucking understand like the tiny differences, just like watch clips and like point out like this is why he was here because he did this or they did that, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be helpful.
Yeah. But it's the same with car setup though. Like, if you watch that Naoki option video about him going to all the courses and kind of explaining what he does differently for each course, and because he knows, similarly to driving, because he's driving, he understands the small changes within the car to make it work. Like just changing the front toe angle on Nico, because for example, when it's a left hand corner, so when you hit left, if you change the toe out on one side, then like for example, the wheels go like that, and if you have equal toe out, then obviously the Ackerman will change that angle, how much angle you have. But if you change the toe on just the left side, for example, it means the trailing wheel will actually make the front turn in more, and you get more rotation, for example, and then you can do that, and it's getting down to those minute little details that make, I guess, a huge difference in how you can drive that track as well, as long as you can understand it.
Yeah,
and that's it's pretty interesting, the level of people that get into it and what they know and understand.
I just watched that video and I was like, I don't know what he's saying, but he's like pointing at stuff on the car, and I'm like, yes, interesting.
Fuck. We need like full English subtitles, It'd be pretty basic.
Yeah, for us. Well, no, like people who actually know Japanese, that's what you get. You learn the fucking language, and now you get to reap the benefits. Us peasants who just like be like, well, I guess like Samima-san.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Dude, Brandon Cotto, when we were there for Super D, had us crying laughing because like Brandon's Japanese, like but he was literally trying to do if Brad Pitt's character from what's that like World War II movie that
World War Z or something?
No, shit.
Anyway, no, World War II movie. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Inglourious Bastards. Anyway, the character, like, how they like have him do the scene where he's like trying to pretend to be Italian, but he's just like super like middle America, like go Laramie. Brandon was saying Japanese stuff in that accent, like all over the place, and like we could not stop. I was like in tears. He'd be like, arigato gozaimasu, like arigato gozaimasu, like, and he would just do that, like, oh my god, dude.
I do that time to time because I can, and I also do the I don't speak English side of things when I can, just to take the piss as well. I remember I'm pretty good at it too. Like it's like sorry, can you take a photo of me, please? Okay. Thank you. And they just the people that talk to me, they talk really slowly and polite, and for the people that I've done this to, you guys are awesome, but I'm a dick. But it's good. It's so
like,
funny just
they're
to see
super
what the reactions
accommodating.
are.
And they're super accommodating, and you're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
be like, oh, he's foreign. Be nice.
So, but and likewise, if I'm in Japan and if I get in trouble, which I haven't up till now, but I'd use the I don't speak Japanese card and just speak English like I am now, and they'll probably fall for it because they're like, oh, Japanese name. I'm like, oh no, Nikkei Jin desu, which is like an overseas Japanese foreigner type thing.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, okay. I'm a little bastard, but yeah. You got to have all the tricks up your sleeve, It's good. Yeah.
You gotta have fun, Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Gotta have a sense of humor.
Exactly.
Brandon kept because his last name is Kato, so they'd be like, they try and like speak to him in Japanese, and that's where the fucking horrible like South American, like American South accent speaking Japanese came from, because like they were getting upset, and so he's like, all right, like I'll speak Japanese. I don't know if that's like exactly how it came about. I just like a picture in his head, like be like, oh, you want to hear some Japanese? Okay.
Yeah, here we go. I'll give you some Japanese.
Yeah, I feel like Tokyo is pretty easy to get around. There's like a lot of people speak English there for the most part. You're like, you can like walk into a restaurant, dude. When I landed in Japan the first time, this is fucking embarrassing. I'm gonna tell it. I get off the plane and I was listening to what was I listening to?
NWA.
I don't know. No. I was listening to whatever. Who cares? That has nothing to do with the story. So I'm like, I'm walking through the airport, just like my headphones on, just like fucking vibing, dude. I'm like, whoa, because I never left the country before. I'm like, I'm in Japan. Whoa. And so like I'm going through the whole thing, and I like get up to the like passport area, and the guy is like, pretty much the guy comes up to me, or I like walk up to the thing, and I like just like freeze because I don't know what the fuck to say, right? Like I don't know any Japanese at all. And so I'm like trying to just like point at shit and be like, here, and he's like, sir, it's over there. Like, just go ahead and walk through to me. And I'm just like, it happened 3 more times and just in the airport. I was like trying to find a SIM card. So I like go to the SIM card thing and I'm like, like, hello. And they're like, hello. And I'm like, SIM card. Just like super awkward, like point to my phone, phone SIM card. And they're like, yes, we have all of these SIM cards. Which one would you like? And I'm like, oh fuck, when is this gonna end, dude?
They probably thought you were intellectually problems.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like,
we could have helped this guy out.
I was hitting him with like the slow talk English before they said it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For people that do go to Japan for the first time, you got to realize that they're probably used to a lot of English speaking people, and that's why they're working at the airport and stuff. Yeah,
like they probably speak better English than like some people I know.
They're nuts. Yeah,
it's like very like, dude, the fucking culture shock that I had. I didn't have culture shock going to Japan. I had culture shock coming back from Japan, because I landed at LAX, which LAX is like like if you want to have like a panic attack, like that's where you go. Like you go to Los Angeles International. Like I think that's what the X stands for. That doesn't make international starts with I. I don't know what the X is for. Whatever. I went to try and go get a bagel. And this lady literally, like, I look like I just fucking punched her in the face, like just trying to order this bagel. Like she looks so mad that I wanted a bagel. I don't even know how to begin to describe the difference of like the service in Japan versus
Yeah.
like LAX at this bagel place. Like I was like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, okay, I guess because I was there for I think 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, I'm back. Like this is okay,
Yeah.
all right. Like I got to get used to
This
like
is different.
people being mad that I want to
Yeah.
buy things from their place, you know. But I mean, I guess
Spend money with them.
I guess there's good and bad of that. Like if you're having a bad day in Japan and you gotta like be really nice to people all day, like that must suck.
Yeah, 100%.
You're like,
But it's funny, and there is a lot of people in Japan or Japanese people that really don't give a shit if you're having a bad day, and they still want the service that you always give, and that's like what compounds that, if you know what I mean. Like if there's
yeah,
people like us that like notice that they're having a bad day and don't give a fuck if they're having a bad day and try and cheer them up, and that's all good. But the guys that are they really want that service because that's what they're used to. It'll be pretty hard.
yeah. And that, like the girl that's like working at that restaurant or whatever is going to that host bar after work, she's gonna
Yeah, yeah,
she get trashed.
yeah. Oh, far out. Yeah. Oh man, there's been like, the Japan is a wild country, eh? Like you can do, I guess you can do things on the cheap if you want to, and you can do things real baller if you want to, if you have the budget.
Yeah,
Like it all depends on what you want to do, and there's pretty much anything that if you think about doing, you can do over there, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
There's just subcultures and shit, and
yeah. Do you feel like that's not the case in New Zealand?
no way.
Yeah,
No. Like New Zealanders, I think the good thing about New Zealanders, we're pretty casual, if you know what I mean. But
yeah,
sometimes we're way too casual as well. Like, but like it's a very. Nah, I don't know. I quite like New Zealand. It's sweet. It's a good place to be. But it is changing to the point where we're trying to keep up with the rest of the world and all the rest of it, and it is changing. I don't know. I wouldn't call it the better, but just to keep up, I guess. But at the same time, you can go out and go to the beach and drive on the beach for 2 hours and just chill out. And there's not many other places you can do that, which is cool.
yeah.
Drifting, on the other hand, it's getting better, maybe.
Is it
um,
because it's easier to do, or like why is it getting better?
uh, I think there's more people into it, which obviously there's a bit more. There's more, I guess, resource put towards it because
Yeah,
there's that demand. So yeah, there's a lot of places to do it, and I guess there's a good community within drifting as well. Um, the driving ability is getting better, I think, especially because like Adam and Joel, and like the D Club boys and Gogo and all those the guys that have been to Japan, and there's actually a lot of New Zealanders that have gone to Japan and experienced it. They go, shit, that's how we should drive,
yeah,
and then come back and done it. And I think it's the same with Australia and obviously with America and everywhere else. So just bringing that style back, which is pretty cool.
yeah. I think that's kind of what my point was when I was saying like watching it is different than doing it or experiencing it. Because like you watch stuff in Japan
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I do that. Like I throw it in fast, like I do big flicks, but then
Mm, 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 mm.
once you see what it actually is, like firsthand, it's different. Like I mean, I was talking to
Yeah.
a few people who were like in Japan. And they were in Osaka, and I was like, you have to go. Like you have to go to Meihan and like watch, because it's gonna change your
Mm.
perspective on like what your driving level is and like what so whatever. I don't know. I think like as more people go and kind of like bring that mindset back, it's gonna
Mm.
push others that are in the place. Because I mean, we're seeing that here. There's definitely like a big push for people to drive faster. Like you go
Yeah.
to an event and you run like a big 265, and there's people there with 600 horsepower on like a 245, and you're just like, you couldn't make it any more easy, but you're not going to go fast. And when you blow by the dude with 600 horsepower and you have like, around 400, they're like, what? How?
Half.
Yeah. Like, how is that even possible? You're like, it's not about horsepower. It's about like grip ratio to like, there's all these anyway. I think when people see that firsthand, they're like, oh, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Or some people just don't get it and they're like, nope, this is the way, and I'm going to do it the way I like it. And you know what? So be it. But
so be it. Yeah. That literally, yeah, just do you, man. Like, it's all good. But yeah.
I just need to
everyone has their own way of having fun. So
yeah, I need to like battle. I want to like do some comps and stuff and see kind of where I'm at like in that realm, because I kind of have a hard time with it. So I think,
to be honest, I'm in the same boat, dude. Like, I actually want to drive competitively in New Zealand to just see where I'm at, right? Because the competitions in New Zealand are pretty good. Like, they're getting better, like I said.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see, if I'm up there or if I'm not. It's something on the cards. I think I don't want to do it in the gold car though. Yeah, for anyone that watches this, don't drift competitively in an 86. It sucks.
And it's expensive. Well, the tires.
Yeah, it's expensive if you crash. So
the tires are cheap. The shell is not.
Tires and gas. Yeah. No.
What would you drive over there?
Yeah. Probably a Sylvia if I can get my hands on one.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Do they have a lot of tiers of comps in New Zealand, or is it pretty much just like the D1NZ, NZ?
So
however you want to say it, depending on where you live. Sorry.
Yeah, we say NZ. Do we? D1NZ. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, NZ. But
I'm glad you checked.
So there's the pro level. Yeah, I had to say it in my head a couple of times to make sure. There's the pro level, and then there's the pro am or pro sport level. So the pro sports, I think, tire restriction of 235 and not semi slick, so it's just a radial.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And then obviously it's pretty good. But it's funny because a lot of those guys still have like 400 kilowatt, which is like, I don't know what's that in horsepower, like 550, 600 horsepower. It's just like, and a 235 radial, which is kind of what we were just talking about, why? But yeah, I mean, it's still pretty cool. Like, you go through tires like no tomorrow, the guys that drive do. So it'll be interesting to go to like that type of level with a 400 horsepower Sylvia and try and grip it up as much as you can with the 235 and see what you do.
Yeah. I'd be kind of, I mean, I guess it really all depends on the judging. Like, are they looking for smoke? Like, if they're looking for smoke, you're not gonna, like, I hope we get away from that. Like, I don't know, that run wasn't smoky enough. Like, he entered like literally 15 miles an hour faster than everyone else, but there wasn't any fucking
it wasn't
smoke.
smoky.
There wasn't any fucking smoke. I'm going home. I want a refund.
It was too good for the environment.
That's the other thing, man. Like, I want my tires to last. I don't want to I don't want to run 6 tires in an event, not just because of money, just because like I don't want to do that to the.
I don't want to change them.
Yeah, that too. I'm not trying to kill Mother Nature, dude.
Yeah.
Anyone who watches this, like anywhere other than like California, is gonna be like, fucking lame ass. Like, shut up. Like,
hey, we're living on this planet, and it's the only one that we can live on at the moment. So why not take fucking care of it? Like, I love all your plants in the background, man. Like, you're doing something for nature. I can tell.
Yeah. So I water. This is the only one that I water, and I forget to water it all the time. That one's mine, and the rest of these are all shummies. But
okay, yeah,
dude. That plant, I got that plant 3 years ago, and it's still alive. I got it because I I was like, damn, that one looks like cool ass hair. I want that one.
Yeah.
And I brought it home and we looked it up and it's like super hard to take care of. And I was like, oh, great.
But
You know what, dude?
It's
still
good.
Going. We have like a 10-foot fiddle leaf fig over, like, you can't see it right now, but it's literally like touching the 10-foot ceilings in our apartment. We had to.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we moved it. We moved it on my open trailer. Like we carried it out, like put it like right when I got my trailer, we were moving, and I was like, I know exactly how to move that plant. Like, like super careful with it. We like put a tarp over it.
Yeah. But no, my missus takes care of all the plants, so it's pretty good.
I'm too spacey, man. I don't like remember important stuff like watering the plants or feeding myself.
Yeah, me too. I know how that feels.
I think that's like another thing with drifting. I feel like we're all a bunch of like ADD weirdos too. Like, at least maybe. Like everyone's like a little.
You know how I told you. Yeah. We had that conversation about ADHD and all that stuff, and I was reading through like the symptoms, and I was just like, I definitely self-diagnosed myself as having ADHD.
I had someone explain to me that people in like motorsports or like extreme sports, like that's like a very big indicator because it's like you're chasing. Adrenaline allows you to think clearly. Like it like clears your mind, right? So like when you're ADHD, you have very like cloudy thoughts, and you're like, oh, this and that. And I'm gonna start a business, and then I need to like paint my house, like all this shit happening all the time, and then you're like, how come rain is clear, like dumb shit like that. And then they were saying like,
right,
you can't do that when you have a bunch of adrenaline. You can't be like, hey, so what did I eat last week, and how come time is time, like like you're just like, I have to do this thing that I'm doing right now, and this like, so it's it's kind of a big indicator, but I don't know. I've been diagnosed.
Did you know one I guess fact of life is when you look at how this is fucked up, right? Our brain, like what we're seeing at the moment, is actually upside down, but our brain puts it up the right way.
Get the fuck out of here.
Did you not know this? Straight up.
I'm never gonna be able. I'm like, no, I didn't know.
Okay, and no. So like, check this. If it's raining next time, and there's like a little droplet.
Oh, I've seen it. You look and it's upside down. Yeah. Everything's upside down.
Because that's how it is.
You want to know why I know that? The rain droplet thing?
Why?
Because my ex-girlfriend was on cocaine. How? My ex-girlfriend was on cocaine, and we were sitting in the car. And she's like, if you look through the raindrops, they're upside down. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked and I was like, oh, shit, yeah, they are. It's like, you are high. Well, you know what, dude?
I did that when I wasn't high, so I think she's doing pretty good.
That's a fucking story for not on the podcast. Anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
Question: how do you? Yeah, I don't know. Do you edit the podcast at all or not?
No, I mean sometimes I'll cut off like a little bit at the beginning or the end when it's like when it's like getting started. Yeah. But like lately, I just start at the beginning because most of the time people are. It's literally like we're just hanging out, and then that's what people like about it. That's what everyone says. Like, they're like, please don't edit these, because like even if there's like weird slow spots or whatever,
it's good.
I mean, why would we? Like I feel like people are interested enough in the people that I have on that they want to see like the character like traits of that person. They don't want to just see like the hot and it's like not everyone watches these. It's like a select group of people, which is growing slowly. But like the people who do watch it, like they'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, I just finished like
the whole."
yeah." So shout out everybody who messages me and says thank you for making these, because when people do that, then I get motivated to like make more, because otherwise I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to drift, dude. I don't give a shit about anything. I'm doing 3 events in a row on these 3 weekends, so I'm like, but a bunch of people have been telling me like, hey, where's the next podcast? I'm like, I need to do one. So
better do one.
Yeah, shout out
where
for
are you driving?
I'm actually doing my first comp since Super D Northwest trial, which was like 2 years ago or a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And before that, I didn't even qualify for the first Super D Cup. That's a whole other story. And then before that, I had done a comp in like 2013. So I really don't do many comps. I kind of like, this is gonna sound super corny, but I did some comps and I did well, and I did another comp and I didn't do well, and I like took it super hard. And then I watched like Jesse Streeter and I was like, man, that guy doesn't do fucking comps. Like, I don't need to do comps, you know, like I'm gonna be fucking sick and just put it on the wall, dude. You know, in my head. And then like now I'm kind of regretting it, but it's not too late, you know. I wanna go just try with, if I do well, cool. If I don't, you know, I get to go home and see my puppy.
Yeah. I'm the same. I think I did one comp in 2012 and I came second, and then I hadn't done a comp until I did a one at Mary at the Seas Garage like entry comp back in like 2000. That was probably 2013 or 12 as well. Came second in that, and then I didn't do anything. Like I haven't. The last one I did was the animal style team drift comp.
Yeah,
where I came second.
Yeah. You know what's fucked up is I know another 86 guy with an SR, and he always gets second place.
Motherfucker, yeah. what is it with SR86s and coming second? Fuck yeah, no. Fucking throw in the trash.
But there was the one that won at Super D, so Super D Japan. So you have a chance. You just gotta.
True. Yeah, but that's a cheater car. It's got full Sylvia fucking everything.
Yeah.
So
that car is so wild, man. I like it, you pop the hood and it's just like someone just like literally bought like barbecue spray paint and just went fucking like, why, man? Like, how do you find anything?
Literally, how do you find a leak? How do you find a bolt? Where's the vacuum fucking line?
Are you trying to figure out how to avoid like radar detection? Like what? Or is like, does he have some like secret sauce cheater shit that's like hell of fucking that he doesn't want people to be able to see easily? Like what is that about?
Well, yeah, literally, he's definitely cheating to do that. To go to that extent of painting his engine bay all black. Like,
if you run this vacuum line backwards, you know, the car makes like an extra this. You can get torque at way sooner in the power band if you run these vacuum lines, and like, you know, like kind of like crazy Japanese tuner shit. I don't know.
I'm sure his manifold is black as well, right?
Yeah, no, like the whole engine bay is black.
Everything.
Like they spray painted like the strut towers, the engine, the valve cover, it literally looks like someone took a square black, flat black like sheet and like dropped it on the motor and like heated it up, and so that it like took the shape of what should be under the hood.
Yeah. Far out.
I don't know, but the dude can drive.
It's a very, very good driver. Fujiki. I don't know. I don't know if I don't even know if that's his first or last name, but his name is Fujiki.
So that's the cool part about going to Japan is like when I went to Ebisu, like there was just a bunch of random dudes there, like with their kids, and they were just absolutely like mind-blowing runs, and you're like, oh, like there's it's not just like the stuff that you see in videos. Like there are a lot of people here who like have nothing to do with anything. Like they're not trying to be pro. They're not trying to like, they're just out there to like, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we can,
Yeah.
I hope we can kind of get that more internationally, where people are like, I just want to be the best driver I can be. And I don't want to have to, you don't want to have to be somebody to do it, you know?
And I think that's what I experienced in Japan. That's why I haven't done competitions up to now and just focused on driving, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, there was one time at Ebisu in 2009 that they were like, oh, you should go with this guy because he's like better than the D1 drivers, but he's never competed in D1. And that was Goto-san. He had like this stripped out A86, like no hatch, pretty much no glass, just 20 valve. And yeah, I remember going in passenger with his teammate, and he came up onto my door at Kita and was just like waving and like pulling peace signs at me and shit, like on the door in 2009. And I was like, holy crap, like this dude is insane. And just from that, it was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, there's some insane drivers in Japan.
Yeah. I wish we could get like more of them to, I wish it wasn't so difficult to get like their cars to places. You know, like I appreciate what you and like the whole D Club thing did with like getting Naoki to like New Zealand, and like, you know, bringing Naoki to like Southern California, because there was a lot of people who were just like, oh well, that guy's this and that and blah blah, and he did you know, and then but they're out of that, there's another like 20% that are like, oh, I want to do that. Like someone else can do that, I can do that. Like I think Joel was mentioning that like Graham, like he saw that event and then just like totally changed his driving style in New Zealand. Like that's cool. Like that I feel like we needed, I don't know, I wish we could do it with like more drivers. Like I don't know. I want to see just to be like, okay, it isn't just this one guy. Like there are many people who drive like that. It's not like this like anomaly perfect like driver. Like there are people who, you know, maybe, you know, on it
insane.
Yeah. They're like, he loses events at Meihan, you know, like there are people who beat him. Like he's not like this like god of drifting, like, you know. I don't know. I would love to see like
100%
fucking Hero and
like
his S15 on like Kenda, like fucking somewhere. You know what I mean?
What the hell, eh? Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. There's like so many drivers, I guess, especially in Japan, that you know, that are insane, that are just like crazy good and are not known by a lot of people, unless they're local to that track or whatever, because they just don't go out of that track. You know, they just stay at that one track and they're just insane. Yeah. And, you know, just being able to, I guess, experience that and have a look and go, holy crap, there's just that's one thing that you probably take away from Japan more than most.
Yeah. Do you see like an end in sight for you drifting? Like what would, do you want to do this forever? Like,
I think one of my goals, and this is gonna sound real corny as well, but I want to be 86 and be driving an 86.
Yeah.
As long as I can still buy gas right at that point, or I have to fucking electric convert my fucking 86. So be it. But yeah, you know, that's kind of where I want to be. And I'll keep driving as much as I can until I'm unable to. You know, like that's pretty much where I'm at.
So you go to Japan a lot. Is there like anywhere else that you'd want to drive?
Oh, dude, I'd like to drive anywhere I can. Like America, like I've been to Australia, want to drive there, want to drive, you know, Europe, wherever, Malaysia, fucking, I don't care.
That'd be cool. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Go to like Singapore or something.
Yeah, bro. Like it'd be so much fun just to go and drive around and, you know, just find a little hill spot and just fucking go for it, because there'll be, you know, drifters. Drifting is huge, man. If you think about it, like there's so many drifters in the world, like that are into it. Like it'd be fun to just network and fucking.
I mean, like I got into it like kind of, you know, I didn't start doing, like I knew what it was pretty early on, but I didn't do, and when I say early on, I mean like maybe 5 years after people who were already doing it in the US, you know, like I'm not early, but what I mean is like I was aware of it. And like a lot of the OG friends that I have, like, you know, some of like the older Hachi dudes, like there would be like one event every like 6 months, you know, and the rest was all just like messing around on the streets. But it was like people with like VLSDs and like 16 valve Corollas, and, you know, with like like stock diffs, stock GTS diffs, and and like S13s with like Ks and like a two-way and KTS coilover, you know, like just like the like I don't know, it was like a different time. And now if you wanted to, even just in like even where I am, you could probably drive every week if you wanted to. Like there's an event like damn near both days every weekend at Thunderhill now. It's just some like random this company or that company is like having a drift day, and they just rent out the pad. You know, and then like Sonoma's every Wednesday.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's super cool.
So I remember when Sonoma Drift started, having a drift event that was every week was like crazy to people, you know. And I tried to make like every single one. Like the first 2 years, I think I was at like 90% of the events, and then it started to sell out, like because they were like doing, you could like pre-buy the nights, like you could like pre-buy the nights, so people would just pay for it for the whole season, and like it was only like everyone would, like no one else could drive kind of thing. So that was kind of shitty. And you like didn't even have to pay up front, like you could just like reserve it was stupid. A
spot.
Yeah, so like be like, I want to reserve all of them, and then people then these anyway. Now that there's just a lot more driving, and you know, as I just hope that we don't get to like that point where it's like too fast and like uncool, and then it just like dies off, and like there aren't tracks and there aren't events. But the way things are going, I don't really see that.
I don't see it. I mean, I reckon racing is always going to be there, right? So if racing is going to be there, then the tracks are going to be there. So that way, realistically, drifters can still go drifting. The only thing that I see that's going to be different is realistically, we won't be able to have gasoline-powered cars.
I can see
we
that
will
coming.
go to electric at some point.
Yeah,
100%. And to be honest, it'd be kind of, I don't know, that may take the fun out of it, because all electric motors are are very similar in concept.
Yeah.
So you won't have that difference between, you know, like a 4-age and an SR and an RB and 1J, and you know, and that's what makes it quite fun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like RC motors where there's like a lot of them, but it's just like, oh, how many turns do you want, you know, or whatever. Like I don't even remember what the RC stuff is, but it's like how many turns, and there's like this one is like more torquey and this one's more, you know, like high speed. So there's like a little bit of
true. No, you're right. If there might be differences in the motor, if you base it off RC, it's exactly the same, isn't it? At the end of the day, the concept of it.
Yeah, because we'd just be building like full size RC drift cars that we sit in. They'd be like, wait, you want to ride on it? What? But that's the weird part. It's like,
don't you control it like this?
Yeah. You sit in the seat and you do this. Also, if you turn like, so the RC handle, if the RC handle's facing down, if you tilt the RC handle like a little bit, it looks very questionable. Like the motion, you're just like, Anyway, whatever. Sorry.
Can you do that for me one more time? So
Yeah. So this is the handle, and this is the wheel. You're gonna do.
Yeah. Just a bit of this.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to mess with some RC drifting because I did RC. I raced. I did like a club RC race when I was like a little kid, and they let me do it with like a trophy truck, even though it was supposed to be like the touring cars, because I was like a kid. And they're like, well, it's what he has, like, I guess. And I would do it. Yeah. Dude, I crashed into a bunch of them, and it was like, I was like older guys, and they're like really like they painted their things really nice, but they were all like super cool about it. I also pissed my pants in a Taco Bell that day, I remember, but I got second. Dude, I was like 8. Because I was actually, no, this is exactly what happened. It was just like outside some like hobby shop, and they had like a little course set up. And I remember I was racing, but I had to pee hella bad, and I had these like Nike like warm-up pants, like the plastic ones. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I had to be like, when's this race gonna be over? I gotta pee, dude. And like the race is over, and I like handed I put the controller down, and I like walked over to this, because there was a Taco Bell like in the same like parking lot mall thingy. And I get over there and I like fucking crack it. I'm like, can I have your bathroom key? It like took hella long, and I was like, oh, like this is getting close. Shit, I get the key. I fucking put it in the door. I turn the lock and piss my pants. And so close yet so far. Fucking hell, that's a good story, pal. I enjoyed that one. Dude, so you win and you lost. It was a pretty average day in general. That's the universe, man. It's fucking got the yin and the yang. Okay. Fucking that, Yeah. You gotta balance. You gotta have that balance. Like like do good, and then you're gonna fuck something up, and that's how you. Fuck it up. That's how the world works.
I think we've just solved the meaning of life.
Dude, if we solve the meaning of life on this podcast, we are fucking doomed. If you and me figured it out, but you know what, dude?
Mate, this word is a lovely word.
I was talking to my shop mate Nacho, kind of like, because he was like, yeah, I was like thinking about getting this like trailer, and I don't know, like I'm thinking about doing XYZ. We were kind of talking it out, and I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, we're not normal, like we're not normal people. Like, no, people don't usually just like be like, oh, that shit looks crazy, like I want to do it, and then they like do it, and then they like do it, because he got into cycling, and he just like went all out. He had like a carbon bike, and he was like fucking doing races and like changed his diet, and like, you know what I mean? But like, he's also a really fucking good driver. Like he's a good, like he like did really well in like Pro-Am in Texas, and he's when he first finished his build, I wasn't sure because like he was fighting it a lot because he had some like suspension stuff, but like once he figured it out, I was like, oh, that's what everyone was talking about. Anyway, the point of that is, it is odd being like surrounded by people. Like, I think that's why it's easy to make friends in drifting, because you are surrounded by people who are just like, oh, that thing looks hard, but I don't care. I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I need to do this. And you're just like, you're like, I mean, like I could like, I don't know what I would do with money otherwise. Like, I don't know if I would even have like, cause I feel like humans generally like accumulate money based on what they need, right? Like
their needs.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah. And there's obviously people out there who like their need is to have money. Like they're like, I need to have a lot of money. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess. Like, what are you going to spend it on? They're like, nothing. And you're like, why? Like, why do all the work? Like, well, I just want to have a lot of money. Like, but like, but you don't want to like eat good food or like, you
Or
know,
have fun, or
yeah, like
I mean, I guess that's fun for them, right? At the end
yeah,
of the day.
they're
So
like, fuck yeah, I got a big bank account. No one can tell me shit, you know? I'm like,
yeah.
maybe I might be wrong, you know, because like those dudes, like they could just or people, they could just be like, I'm gonna quit my job. I don't give a fuck and move to wherever, and then they can. So
Mm,
maybe that's it. I don't know. They
mm,
want to
mm,
just
mm, mm.
they want the option to do whatever the fuck they want, but not actually do it. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
us
yeah, yeah,
weird
yeah.
drift people are like, we just want to do like we're the type of people who like kind of just do whatever we want. I don't know. I don't know. It's not super common.
I,
And like,
I know what
okay,
you mean. I know
yeah,
what you
I'm
mean.
I'm phrasing it weird. Like, do we do whatever we want? Like, I'm gonna punch out this window, dude. Like, you know?
Yeah, I think we get stuck. Like if we're like really passionate about something that we really like, then that's what we, I guess, aim towards, and then we will, I guess, make sacrifices to get to that. Right. So it's not like want to do everything that we want. This is what we want to do. So how do we make it work to be able to do it?
Right. Yeah. And I feel
So
like
even if we don't eat, I guess, yeah. No. I stopped that sentence really badly. Even if even if we don't eat well,
yeah.
or like go out every day or whatever, like it doesn't really matter because I've been through stages where I ate like meagering, those meagering instant noodles.
Ah,
Like I ate
yeah.
those for like 2 weeks, which are like less than $1 a pack just to go drifting for a weekend. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely like even now, like when I was starting out, man, I would like anything that I could try and do to get like it was like literally every dollar decision that I made was like how many tires, like is that tires, like could I is that like an entry for an event, like can I do like if I spend $50 on this, would I have more fun going drifting or this? And I would always pick drifting. And then now, like even now,
yeah,
I've had a Forerunner for almost 5 years, and I'm always like, yeah, I'm gonna like lift it and like take it off road and stuff. And like every time I go,
yeah,
should I get the all terrain tires for it? And I'm like, no, that could be
yeah.
like that's like
No.
2 or 3 drift events. Like no, and I just put it
Yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah, 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 yeah. hundred
So,
percent. I'm the same.
but
I'd rather be able to go driving than have all this other shit that I probably won't use anyway.
yeah, because it'll be like, we're gonna go off roading, or like, I have a drift event that weekend,
Yeah,
or I have to work on my car.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get it going for the drift event. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do the guys in Japan have like a lot of? It seems like they don't have a lot of downtime. Like, do they? Most people do their own like upkeep on their car, or do they like?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the guys that are, I guess, quite good, they tend to work on their own stuff.
Yeah.
And they practice that they practically change their lifestyle to suit what they want. So similar to what we were talking about, right? So if they want to do drifting, then they figure out that they should have a garage, so they work on their own things, even make money from customers' cars and that type of thing. So it makes it viable for them to do it because the income in Japan isn't that great, right? In general, so they have to, I guess, maximize the amount of efficiency or income to be able to make it work. So, and that's the
Yeah.
only way of doing it is just having
I mean,
full control of what you spend.
same thing here, right? Like, you know, use Julian for an example. Like, he does knuckle, like,
Yeah.
he does all this other stuff, and his job is like super flexible with him. Like, anytime he can be like,
Mm.
hey, I need to go to this event for like a week before, and they'll be like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like the only
That's pretty
employee too.
sick.
So it's like he like has a really cool boss, and he understands that this is like his life.
Yeah.
My boss is pretty cool too. He like thinks drifting's tight.
Yeah.
Shout out Simon, dude.
That's good.
He was like, send me videos from the event. I'm like, okay. I'll send him videos and it'd be like, oh, that was pretty sick. You know, like he's into cars. Like there's like a few people in my work who like think it's cool. So that's nice. And my last job, they're just like, you want time off for what? So you can go crash into stuff, you fucking idiot.
Oh fuck. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, they Japanese are pretty committed, I guess, into what they're doing. So
I guess it's
which
probably
is pretty cool.
I guess it's pretty common, right? Like people who like really try and do it, like they mold their life to make it easier.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure your your setup is kind of somewhat ideal for that.
Yeah, yes and no. There's always pros and cons, right? So I think in future, I mean, for me, I probably need to make a lifestyle change in terms of going back to Japan. I probably won't be able to go back to Japan as often as I'd like, depending on what happens. And yeah, but I'd love to. Yeah, I mean, if I can keep making it work, so I can go back to Japan, I'm going to try my best to do so. You know, like because that's just such a big part of it. And like same with you guys going to Japan, come to New Zealand, and stuff like that. It was all due to drifting at the end of the day, and that's what you wanted to do. So
yeah, no one wanted to do anything else. You can't get Julian to leave his house, let alone get on an airplane unless it's for drifting.
Yeah, it sounds like me. To be really honest with you, I want to go over the States and come drive with you boys. I want to take either the gold car or the purple car. It'd be cool. Be fun.
Yeah, or even just come and hang out, and you can drive some of our cars. You can drive my car.
Left-hand drive is hard.
Yeah,
just changing gears.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, oh, where's the gear?
Yeah, tandeming's rough.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Well, I mean, luckily, Julian's got 2 right-hand drive cars, so once that's going, get like, I don't know. I shouldn't be making plans for other people, but you should definitely come, dude. Gotta like,
yeah, I'll be down.
Yeah, all of our.
I really like. I think this has been discussed about before, but like we need to get everyone that we were talking to and everyone that are in different areas to just come to one area and go drifting together.
Yeah,
that's always been a dream of mine, is to just get everyone in one place and just go drive, because it'd be just the funnest fucking day in the world. Like it'd be so much fun.
Yeah. We just need some. One of us, we gotta lottery that shit. One of us has got to win eventually, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's what 20 of us that if we each buy tickets.
we need 3 mandarins. Ooh, mandarin.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll make it work.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Oh.
So you I feel like I didn't like ask you any questions. We just talked about other people, which is tight. But like you picked up an 86 at 16, drive through Japan, right? Like that car went back to New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
Is that one of the cars?
Is
that the car with the SR in it?
That was my first ever drift car. No. So I've had about 5 different 86s.
Yeah.
That was my first one, and that was the one I learned to do donuts and figure eights and stuff in.
Yeah.
And then I had a turbo 86 that I bought over from Japan as well, and that I never took it to the track. I used to just skid around on the street with no plates or registration on that one. And what was the other one? Then I had a shell, like an 85 shell, that I was going to put all the turbo stuff into, but then shit went horribly wrong for me, and I had to sell everything, which is part of life. And then I bought the Levin that I had previous to this one now. And that one I did a shitload of driving in. Like that was the car that kind of really got me getting better and better at drifting. And that was NA 4Age small port and just call overs in the diff. So super simple
that
but real
explains a
cool.
lot.
And then
anyone who gets good in a Corolla, like
and
anyone who drives a Corolla like a lot and gets good, like usually can kind of handle anything. It's like such a like it's such a it's such a technique car.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's live axle, right? So there's no adjustment in the camber to make it easier. You've got all the grip there the whole time, and you really got to outdrive the car to actually get it to skid. So that was a big learning curve, which is really cool. And then once the C's Garage boys and stuff like that, they started going SR and 400 horsepower and that type of thing, I couldn't keep up with them. It was really hard, and it kind of pushed me towards going SR in my car, because I was thinking about a real high comp 4H build. There's a guy, New Zealand guy that had it, Carl Skews. He actually was like the guy that taught me how to drive properly. He like drove my car, went passenger with him. And this is a really good thing to do, is to get a good driver to drive your car to see what it can do. And he did like a 4-wheel slide, so locked up the front and rear brakes and just like that. And I've never felt that before in a car before. And I was like, holy shit. And then that really taught me how to drive as well. And he had a K70 with a high comp 4H. And I was like, I want that. But then the more I drove and the more the C's Garage guys were getting faster and faster, especially after Joel came back from Japan, I was like, no, I want to do that.
That was it.
SR.
And then
so that's a different shell altogether.
How do you compare the S15 and the 86?
The 86 is a bucket of bolts, and the S15 is a dream to drive. Like the 86 is fun. I'm real comfortable with it now. It's super hard to drive, but it's super rewarding at the same time when you get it right. Like I think one of the animal style runs that I did, I was like ecstatic, bro. Like I was like clapping the steering wheel and like fucking tearing up and shit, going, holy fuck, that was sick. Like it was super cool. And then but yeah, the S15 is like, you can do that type of driving without putting that much effort into it, if you know what I mean. It's not as hard. So it's super good. But I guess that's why they use them in competition, because you don't have to try as hard. You can focus on what you need to do, and it will do it.
Yeah, driving Jeff Stonebeck's S15 with the JZ in it, I was like, I understand why this is used in a lot of competitions, like even in Japan and here, because I was trying to figure out why people were running S15s here in competition. I'm like, it's so hard to get those over here, and once I drove it, I was like, oh, this is a good car. Like it does exactly what you want it to do. So,
and it's funny because even asking Naoki, like, what's his favorite Silvia, right? Because he's owned everything, S13, 180, 14, 15. And he goes, realistic, he likes the look of S13 the best.
Yeah.
S14 is like really neutral, like, so it's a well-balanced car, but the best driving car is the S15.
Yeah. It just feels like, I don't know what it is, but it feels like the steering input is so much more. I feel like the small steering input does more. It just you can just whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. It's better. I like it.
Yeah. It's direct. Yeah.
Shit, man. Well, I think we're almost at like 3 hours.
God damn. I don't think people are going to watch up till now.
Dude, no one's going to watch this anyway. They're going to get like 2 minutes in. We're going to start talking about fucking how everyone needs to get a sense of humor. Like, fuck these guys.
Or how you crash your mum's car.
The only I'm gonna only get one comment on YouTube, and it's gonna be the fucking
Yeah.
the dragon nose
Yeah.
emoji for my fucking mom. It's okay. I made it up to her recently. So I made it up to her recently.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. So
Yeah. I think you did well.
Yeah. If anyone actually makes it to the end, hit up Keisuke and tell him. Tell him we gotta give him we gotta give him like a password or something. What should we make him say?
Yeah. I don't know. Fucking. I don't know. What could we make them say, Power? Let me look.
It better be.
I actually have no clue.
Yeah.
What's a real hard thing to say? She sells seashells at the seashore.
There you go. Perfect. You're gonna get one message.
Yeah. Oh fuck it up. No, it was fun. And by the way, for people that don't know what I do, my thing is 86Fighters, because I don't know if you're going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we said that at the start.
I usually put it on the thing. That's okay. But yeah, that's
So,
I don't.
cool.
I should probably start doing intros for people. I'm gonna do don't worry, I'm gonna do a really embarrassing intro for this.
Yes, sweet, perfect.
Like all of them.
I look forward to it. But that one on Flash VM where you're fucking like this, and the fucking was it Flash VM or your one that you actually did that?
Well,
you did an intro like that. Do you remember?
All the Flash VM videos, I'm tempted to make Aaron take my name off of, so no one from work ever finds those. Because dude, he catches me doing the dumbest shit, and I'm like, I look like a drunk idiot, but that's okay. It's fine. The videos are fun, you know.
That's what I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. 86Fighters. 86Fighters, the king of SR Corollas. That's not in Japan, and probably New Zealand. And yeah, he's got an S15. He takes pictures. Is it bad that I'm doing the intro at the very end?
With my toy camera?
I was like, dude, it's...
Yes.
The backstory behind that is someone... What did they ask? Oh, they asked, why do these look like RC cars?
Yeah. So one of them was like, "Why do all your photos look like RC cars?" I'm like, "All my photos look like RC cars." Shit.
I didn't think that at all. I was like, he just got a nice the background and foreground are blurred. That's all that it. Yeah. So I talked some shit. So yeah, the toy camera. No, I think your photography is really good, man. I like all your shots.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I should
appreciate that.
Makes me feel like I should go shoot, but then I never do. So
no, I mean, I've taken so many photos and I haven't really posted any of them up, to be fully honest with you. So I'm making an effort now, trying to. So yeah,
just catalog all the stuff. Yeah, man, you should do it.
Casey's been a big push of that.
Yeah, put out do a book or something. If you just have a bunch of really cool shit that's never seen the light of day, I'd buy that. A bunch of really cool Japan shots. Yeah. I'd definitely buy that.
Yeah.
And if you buy it, let them know.
Yeah. Oh, I think I have a few. Yeah. Well, if you're interested, let me know too, because the more support I have from everyone, the more I want to do it, I guess, or the more I start to froth about it. So
yeah, I like the print stuff, man. I don't know, I like when people sell prints. I try and support the homies when I can. But dude,
likewise.
Fucking speaking of supporting the homies, you're a legend. Thank you for coming to your house.
Likewise, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
And yours. Yeah. Thanks for letting me in.
Mikasa Sukasa, homie. I don't know if that. I think. All right, man.
Yeah.
Sick.
Your house is my house.
He's trilingual.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not going to say anything else.
We're gonna end it on that. We're gonna end it on that. Fuck yeah! Thank you, dude.
Yeah.